yo, 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 yo. Let's go, baby. Feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Let's go! Oh, 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 oh. Woo! Yo, 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 yo. How we doing, people?
Why listen to what I need? Put a picture so
I can see.
February can't
Chase the days away. Away. Dude, let's go. Dude, you asked, am I still writing songs and playing? And definitely not. I don't have any time for that, man. Right? I don't even have enough time to get all the videos I want to get made. So, but no, I have hardly played since I quit in like 2010, 2009, somewhere around there. I sort of shifted my creativity from music. Let's go. You've been down for as long as you've ever been. This way's up, but you're down again. It's just like you to pull off what you thought you couldn't think today. The lost stranger, the wonder familiar face, made of pieces that shake. I've had one too many of them. Now you pretend. Here, I'll put a link. Let's go. A puppy. There we go. There it is. Oh, we drift to the edge. I remember recording this song. I had so much trouble hitting those notes. Like, so much trouble. And now, just like snow castles, oh, we drift to the edge. Just like snow castles, we drift to the edge. Now it's like easy. Oh, right, this is one of mine from 1998. To the Let's go. Oh, shit.
Let's do it again.
All right. Oh, shit. Let's go. Yeah. So what's crazy about that is, dude, that shit, that's from fucking 1998, right? From a long time ago. Easy because my voice is rested? No, it's easy because when I moved to Portland after I left LA, I took years of voice lessons. And so, in fact, my voice is not rested because of all the screaming and yelling and talking I do from streaming. My voice is actually kind of like more thrash than it's been in a while from years of doing this. But when you take voice lessons and you actually learn how to do proper breath support and learn how to use your vocal cords, it's like a lot easier, right? And back then I had no vocal training, and I didn't believe I had a voice like I have now in me. I just screamed and yelled and pushed the air, as opposed to like when you're really singing, you don't push. You know what I'm saying? When you're really singing, you allow, right? Singing is more about allowing the shit to happen. You don't have to push it. You just create the breath, and then you just let it do its thing. And so I had years of voice lessons with a guy here in Portland. And he was like a voice teacher / therapist that not only did he help me fully realize my voice and had exercises that I used to expand my range and to learn breath control, but he also was able to get me to see what I was capable of too, which I think is a really important thing in a mentor. Like, somebody showing you the ropes is one thing, but if they can show you the ropes while also simultaneously like clearing the window so you can actually see your own potential, that's really big. Cross between Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington. All right, I'll take that. Those are both great guys. I don't have quite the range of Chris Cornell, but I can see that. I remember I did go to voice lessons once in like 1997 or 98 with a woman who had taught Axl Rose. And she told me that she was like, wow, you have a voice like Steve Perry of Journey. And I actually didn't go back to her. I thought she was trying to hustle me. Dana, let's go. Thank you for that sticker. I literally thought the teacher was trying to hustle me. And then later I found out that the teacher was actually, she was dead on, right? But it sort of takes what it takes. You know what I mean? You gotta find your own path. You know, you gotta find your way there. Yeah. See, what's interesting, guys, is we'll start off with a little story time because the reason why I was late is we were having like a family discussion about, Bryce's move to New York and our family dynamics and all that. So we were having this late night sort of heavy family discussion. But it's going to segue into what somebody just said when we were talking. You kind of heard Perry Farrell. Yeah, I mean, Perry Farrell was a big influence of mine. Jane's Addiction was probably the biggest influence of all the rock and rollers. I loved that band. I quit college when I heard that band, was like, fuck it, I'm starting a band. But anyway, so I want to give you a little story time because what's interesting about it was I have often had a crux, okay, where I've had a two-headed dragon that I have fought
my whole life, where on the one hand, one head of the dragon that is me is I'm incredibly bold. I will show up and try anything. I will show up and take on this huge fucking thing I'm trying to attempt with no knowledge of what I'm doing. I can be so fucking bold. Thank you, Elf. Let's go, baby, right? I have this boldness that is unprecedented. It's like a fearlessness, right? But the other head of my dragon was that I didn't believe in myself and I didn't trust my own instincts. So what happened is I would show up boldly, and a lot of times people would be attracted to my bold energy and they'd attach themselves to me because I would be the first guy through the wall. But then they would like use me and they would fuck me over, or they would like kneecap me to then allow me to kick the wall open for them so they could then go and chase their thing. And because I had low self-esteem and didn't trust my instincts, I created a lot of situations, especially in my bands. I would get these musicians and I would feel like I needed to have these guys, and I would try to get them to play certain things, and they would be like, fuck you, I'm going to do it my way. And then the shit wouldn't work out. And then, you know, there were always these power struggles with the band. But then I moved to Portland, and then I started a one-man band where I did everything. I played all the records on all the instruments on my albums. I booked my own tours. I did my own PR. Eventually, I got a publicist and hired people to do college radio promo. But I booked my own tours, and by myself, I made a record, played everything, designed everything, did the graphic design, made that record, went on tour for several years, all over the country. Every show booked by me, every fucking networking done out there by me. And it was like the most successful I'd ever done musically. And it was a real developing journey, because I realized, like, fuck not trusting my instincts, and fuck putting up with people who make me think that I need them, while simultaneously they don't really give 100%, you know, because that's really what would happen is I would attract people who would become dead weight and then kind of use me, right, in order to like get through whatever wall they were trying to crash through, you know? And so it was a very, you know, and there was a lot of heartbreaks and whatnot. And then as soon as I learned that lesson, you know what I did? I quit playing music. As soon as I learned that lesson, I stopped playing music, right? I mean, not exactly. My son was born, and so I did give up music. And then a couple years later, I did Failure Looks So Good, the other record where I put a band version together, okay? I put a band version together of The Wanteds, and we made this album, Failure Looks So Good, which was straight to 2-inch tape. It was like recorded live as a band, straight to 2-inch tape. And it was fucking amazing. And then I quit playing music. And I did perform in Chicago. In Chicago, I played in a little place on Lincoln called the Elbow Room. You know Lincoln? It's that diagonal street in like North Chicago, right? It's like North Chicago. There's all kinds of boutiques and shit. It was a place called the Elbow Room. I used to play there all the time, right? Yeah, it was good. I like Chicago. These people, I met some really cool people who took me to an Italian restaurant they worked at that was in the neighborhood. And like, it was like a family, dude. It was so cool. They treated me like fucking royalty. I mean, I met a lot of great people on the road, man. It was pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And then you know what happened? You ready for this? You know what happened that was like absolutely heartbreaking was, I went on the road for about 1.5 years, and I had a laptop that was filled with fucking photos of all these people, right? And then what ended up happening was I came back and I had run out of run out of steam a little bit, and I ended up like going back and doing drugs, and the power jack on my laptop was messed up. And so I took it to Best Buy and to fix, and then I backed up all my data, right, in case something went wrong, and then whatever, I got like back into drugs, and so they told me my laptop was ready, but I didn't go pick it up for like 5 weeks, And then when I went to pick it up, it was gone. They didn't know where it was. And then they gave me a new laptop. And then I went to get my data and they had deleted my data after 30 days. So like all the fucking data, like all my pictures, except for a small handful, I had like a handful that were on a thumb drive, but like all of my visual memories of that time were like gone, dude. Isn't that weird? It sucks. I was so sad about that. Yeah, because there were so many people, right? I know I have memories, but I can't. I mean, I can share them through storytelling, but there were just a lot of people. You can't find the song Drown. Yeah, Drown is not in the Spotify playlist. So that song Drown and that is not in the Spotify playlist. That is if you want that song, the only place that Drown is available is yeah, I'm gonna have to put it. I'll have to put it in the store because I think I'll have to sell. I'll have to put that in my fucking web store when we get the political punk. Sorry that happened. I mean, dude, shit happens. Oh shit, with Elf, you got passed. Yeah, that's brutal. Oh, you got past it. Okay, all right. No, so you didn't get past. You got it. All right, good for you. Let's go. For the Chicago Symphony, good for you, man. Yeah, Drown is just here. That is from that is something I never released to Spotify, right? Elf is a monster musician. Yeah, I mean, if you're getting a symphony fucking invite, I don't doubt that. That's fucking crazy, right? My friend Daphne is like that. She's a violinist in LA, and she would totally be doing the symphony thing, but she does music, like she does like, you know, violin parts and shit for rock and pop and R&B artists and stuff. And like plays, she always puts together the string quartet for the Grammys and things like that. You had a punk band in 66? Dude, that's crazy. No fucking way. Dude, let's go. Dude, congrats, Elf. Good for you. Kill it. So are you going to move then? Yeah, Natalie, I feel you. I mean, the same thing happened with me, right? The same thing happened with me with my childhood. I had a scrapbook, all right? I had a scrapbook. By the way, guys, just so you know, like, don't pay any attention to the viewer number. Like, somebody is botting us again, but I've talked to YouTube, and they actually just handle it. They like, I guess what I found out is it's not even a huge deal, right? Once you let them know, they just fucking, they can tell that it's botted and they just remove that shit. So it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect like your income. I mean, they don't pay, like YouTube doesn't pay income unless they verify shit anyway. So whoever does that, whatever their concern about is, whether they're trying to inflate somebody's totals or trying to get them in trouble, it's just useless. They're just wasting their money on that shit. So we're just going to ignore it and let it'll go up and then it'll fade. Take a lot of hassle off the mods. What take a lot of hassle off the mods? When channels are bought, yeah, well, yeah, if a channel bots themselves, of course. Yeah, but I think, though, I don't think people really do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a time when fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure there was a time when people do that. But, like, dude, it's not like YouTube knows. You know what I'm saying? They've been watching me make videos for over a year, right? And, like, 4, 5 years, 6 years across multiple channels. You know what I'm saying? Like... YouTube is not like, oh yeah, this channel that's averaging like 200 viewers and fucking has 40,000 subs and their growth metrics are doing great. Like, yeah, sure, they would just start botting a live stream. Like, dude, YouTube's not stupid. I mean, people that like do that shit to channels thinking it's going to have an effect on people, those people are stupid. But after TYT, you're feeling homeless? Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, Canal. Yeah, I get it. I feel for the TYT people, right? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, that's what happened to me. Like, I had a scrapbook as a kid that had a whole bunch of pictures and shit, and that shit fucking disappeared, right? It did. It fucking disappeared. You know what I'm saying? It fucking disappeared. I was bummed. Like, my mom brought it to me, and that shit fucking totally disappeared. Left is best. Dude, redefine the 14th Amendment. Is that the birthright citizenship one? Right? That's it, isn't it? Or, oh, yeah. Dude, that's crazy. Of course she is. Dude, these people are scoundrels. But anyway, to address what Canal said, I want to be a home for the TYT like people, because I realize how frustrating it is, guys, that you guys invested in TYT. You know what I'm saying? You guys invested in them, you believed in them, and they got you, like, they wet your political whistle, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And then what ended up happening is they became like turncoats. And like, dude, that kind of heartbreak is really, is hard, because that's the kind of shit that makes people like jaded. You know what I mean? Like, it can kill your sort of like political belief system. And so that's part of the reason why I guess I cover so much TYT is because A, I want to provide a space for people that are like, fuck them, you know what I'm saying? And want to get your mojo back. And what's more though, like, we can dismantle them. You know, we can dismantle them. Now it's crazy though, because what I will say, okay, what I will say about TYT looking back on it, okay, now again, this is just my analysis. I did not follow them. They were not a part of like my political sort of like worldview was formed through education, personal research, you know, Twitter, way back in the day, like following reporters on Twitter before it got rat fucked by Elon Musk, and world events, like paying attention to world events, and then participating in whatever local sort of campaign type shit I could do, right? And being a news digester, cable news, right? A lot of cable news and news as a kid. So it was mostly through mainstream media. I didn't really get into YouTube. I didn't really know much about YouTube until after I started streaming. I went to YouTube when I wanted to learn how to like fix a flat on a bicycle or some shit like that, right? But here's what I will say about TYT that I am certain of, guys, okay? Because if you look at the arc, okay, Cenk blew up, okay? Cenk's YouTube blew up, and he became the de facto progressive guy. Now, what happened is then all these other people, right? Like he would do, you know, what did he call it? They would do fucking, you know, they would optimize for YouTube, right? They would do optimizing for Sam Cedar or for Kyle Kulinski or whatever, right? They brought all these young progressives and they would sign them up under the TYT umbrella and like give them a show or offer them optimization services to help them grow their YouTube. But what I am telling you right now is I guarantee you that from the beginning, TYT didn't do that to help those people blow up. They were doing that optimization to help make sure that none of those people became bigger than TYT. I'm certain it was a control thing. It was like, right? I'm certain of it, which is why they eventually all left and left the umbrella and like prospered once they got outside of it. Yes, I guarantee you he was like suppressing them more so than helping them explode. And he was trying to benefit off their coattails. Okay? And dude, everybody who left them did better, right? I fucking guarantee it, man. You know what I'm saying? And so that's not to say that they didn't provide some type of service, right? Because they did. They certainly brought in young people, and I'm sure they showed them the ropes with certain things. But without a doubt, Cenk Uygur has never been in his main goal has always been to make sure that Cenk Uygur is the biggest guy in the lot. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man, that's why people getting away from TYT that's the move. Right? Yeah. Thank you, Canal. You have those conversations all the time. Yeah. No, they are class traders, without a doubt, man. You know? Dude. Fucking they're like, it's clownery, guys. It really is. I did not watch Hassan. He called them the young turds. Dude, let's go. I mean, not surprising. Dude, they are. They're like so bad. They are. They're so bad. The young Trumpers. I mean, what's wild about it is how they you know, I mean, I know they try to sell it as though they're being honest, and they sell it as though they're working to get money out of politics. But like the thing about Cenk Uygur is he is the biggest corporate hoe, right? He is. Dude, he is a corporate hoe, like the worst of the worst. I mean, that man has been bowing down to corporate funding ever since his shit blew up. You know, he is the definition of you know, corporate hoe. Dude, he is, dude. Homie is like, he's just a con. He is a fucking major fucking con, bro. Yeah. Fought the unionization. And what's more, guys, you realize he fought the unionization after he took millions of dollars from Katzenberg, right? I don't know if you realize that, but he took millions of dollars from Katzenberg, and then he fought unionization after that, right? After that, he did. That's what's crazy. Dude, it's fucking despicable. All right, let's take a look at Trump, shall we? Because homie's having a fucking day, right? Bro, you see this shit? You see this Trump? We got to look at the post, okay? The post is insane, right? Dude, let me find the whole post. There it is. I'm just going to go ahead and save the image, bro. Dude, look at this shit, bro. Unfucking believable, right? Unfucking believable, this shit. Dude, I've not seen a post like this. And, you know, now, again, we saw that Pam Bondi's not going anywhere. So I'm guessing that Dan Bongino is going to be resigning. But here is the Trump melter, okay? Oh, my Lord. This thing is nuts, dude. Dude, I feel like Trump is already a lame duck president, guys. Don't you? Don't you feel like he's already a lame duck president? Actually, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to put it in a window. Yeah, there we go. So then I'll be able to do my scrolling. There it is. Oh, look at that. That is fucking beautiful. I'm a genius. Dude, I feel like he's already a lame duck. Don't you? I mean, think about it. Now, the only thing that's gonna hit the fan is that ICE money. Okay? The ICE money is gonna, coming later this year. ICE is gonna get a huge funding situation, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna mismanage it. They're gonna mismanage it like they do everything else. Okay? Right? So they're gonna have a huge ICE budget where it could get dark, especially if the economy starts going bad. The economy starts going bad with the tariffs and shit. It could get problematic with ICE showing up and doing this. But I feel like the ICE raids are really, like, people are really getting sick of this shit. You know what I mean? You did? Okay, good. We'll look at it. So anyway, let's read this because there's so much in here. I want to read this. And I don't know if you guys saw, but Midas Touch fed this into ChatGPT and had ChatGPT analyze it, saying, hey, like, how does this response, is the person who wrote this guilty or not guilty? And the shit that ChatGPT wrote is like truly breathtaking. It's pretty funny. All right, you ready? Let's read it. So he says, what's going on with my boys and in some cases gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. Mr. Moj, let's go. Thank you for the membership. Appreciate you, boss. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, he says. Bro, dude, think about how fucking demented is this man that, like, thinks he has a perfect administration that's the talk of the world. I mean, that is some next level, like, anti-reality. And selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with Russia, hoax, who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. Dude, he just runs through his greatest hits of nonsense. My God, dude. They created the Epstein files. Oh, here we go. This is some Delulu, right? They created the Epstein files. So now Trump is saying there's not even any Epstein files. This whole thing was just created by Hillary. Dude, no fucking way, bro. That is wild. Oh my God. See, this shit is just going to piss off his base, man. You wait till you see the Megyn Kelly tweet, guys. Oh my God. All right. They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? Why don't you release it, Trumpy? Right? I mean, you're the president. It's your DOJ now. Release it, right? They haven't even given up on the JFK or MLK files. No matter how much success we have had securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons, oh, they will, it's never enough for some people. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years. And we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗏 and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, blah, 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 and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she is looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead, and now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, dude, this is crazy because first off, let's go to the Midas touch thing. First off, can I just say that is batshit? Okay, unhinged. Yes, that is unhinged. Like in the course of it, he said, "We're perfect. We're the talk of the world. Why are you still talking about this dead guy? The files aren't even real. All of that was made up by my opponents. Why didn't they release them if they had something on me?" He fails to mention that he was president in there and is president now, so he could just release this and dispel it all. But he's like, what are they doing? Okay, and then, right? And then what happens is he goes into the whole like, oh, we got to focus on the stolen election, and they tried to do it again, and the country was dead, and now we're just, everything's perfect, and we're amazing, and we're winning, and nobody cares about Epstein. So that is a wild adventure, okay? A wild adventure of like mental illness and you know, sociopathic delusion. And MAGA is fracturing, okay? They are fracturing like hard. Now let's look at the Midas touch thing, okay? Because the Midas touch, the thing they posted is pretty fun. Okay, let me find it. Right here. Okay. So we asked ChatGPT if Trump sounded guilty in his post about Epstein. Okay, this tweet, if you guys want to look at it, I'm going to put the link in chat so you can follow along on your own screens. This is wild, okay? So here's what it said. It said, Trump's post reads as an extremely defensive and erratic. Trump's post reads as extremely defensive and erratic. And while it doesn't offer direct evidence of guilt regarding his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, it raises serious red flags, especially when judged by how an innocent person typically responds to allegations. Here are some points that make him look guilty or at least suspicious. One is overreaction to the topic. Instead of a simple, I had no involvement with Epstein, Trump launches into a rant involving Obama, Hillary, Biden, the JFK files, Pam Bondi, and voter fraud. This kind of deflection and over-the-top denial often signals perceived vulnerability, right? Absolutely. The next is deflection and conspiracy dumping. He claims Obama, Hillary, Comey, Brennan created the Epstein files. That's both conspiratorial and nonsensical. It suggests he's trying to discredit the existence of the files rather than address what they say. When someone tries to invalidate evidence before anyone says it implicates them, it raises eyebrows, right? And this is huge. Right? I don't know if you guys have ever watched the movie All the President's Men. You ever watch All the President's Men? It's a great movie with Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford. They play Woodward and Bernstein. and they're out there hunting down the Watergate. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. But there's a great scene in there where Robert Redford comes in and he's got his little pad and he's sitting with the editor and he's running through this press conference about like talking to these people, and he stumbles upon this line, and Ben Bradley says to him, like, what's the big deal? Why is this line something special? And he said, I never asked him about Watergate. He said, I merely asked him about this guy getting arrested, and he started talking about Watergate. And Ben Bradley was like, holy shit, right? They never asked about Watergate. The guy just started talking about Watergate when asked about something completely separate. And it's very telling, right? When somebody implicates themselves when you haven't even asked the question. That scene is like a pivotal scene when they realize, like, oh shit, we have something really big here, right? It's huge. All right, now it says lack of a clear denial. Not once does Trump explicitly say, I had no improper relationship or involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Instead, he argues that no one cares. It's a distraction, that even if they were files, they were fabricated. Now, this one is huge, right? Because, again, he's trying to say no one cares about this when literally everybody in his base cares about this, right? Preemptive dismissal. His argument of if there was anything in the files that could hurt me, they'd have used it by now, sounds like someone trying to convince themselves they're safe, not someone confident they have nothing to hide, right? And then targeting those investigating. Rather than supporting a full investigation to clear his name, he attacks those investigating and says the FBI should be focused on election fraud and act blue, right? That's a classic misdirection. And again, something innocent people generally don't need to do. Okay, so I thought this was really interesting. Just some really good points, which are absolutely accurate, right? This thing leads, right? This thing reads like I don't know, it reads like a huge sort of ass covering, I got caught with my hand in the cookie jar, right? Because he says like, oh, right? People are saying there's a problem with Pam. Dude, Pam's doing a great job. We're perfect. Oh, the only reason people are talking about this is our enemies are making up shit. Our enemies who are big liars and nasty people, they're trying to divide us. And why didn't they release these if I was in there? Oh, yeah, because I'm not in there. Because clearly this is bullshit. And you know what? Even if I was in there, it's all made up anyway, right? We're out here. Nobody even cares about this. We're out here doing the real work because we're perfect and the whole world loves us. But it is like, dude, it is a person that is backed in the corner, right? I mean, backed in the corner. Homie is, dude. Yeah, I mean, calling them fake. Now, you ready? Can we just go look at Megyn Kelly? Because you saw Megyn Kelly yesterday, right? I made the video tonight. If you haven't seen the video, hold on, let me find the video. Here's the video. I'll put a link to it here. I made this video about Megyn Kelly. It's Megyn Kelly and the MSNBC, Von Hilliard, and everybody talking about the Pam Bondi thing. So Megyn Kelly yesterday was all on Pam Bondi's ass. And she was like, Pam Bondi has embarrassed President Trump, and this is a big scandal, this, that, and the other. But like, look at what she tweeted today, okay? Because she tweeted something today that is wild, okay? Can I just show you? This is wild. Look at what she tweeted today right here. Look at this. There are really only two options. Okay. One, there's no huge undisclosed there, right? She says, one, there's no huge undisclosed there on Epstein. Bondi misled on it until she didn't. and Trump is quick to forgive a loyal soldier for being desperate to get on TV, or 2, there is a scandal that's being covered up and it's at his direction. Oh, dude, that's a bold move right there for Megyn Kelly, right? You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, I put a link to my video actually in there and fucking said, yeah, we all know it's number 2. But this is exactly it, right? That there is a scandal and it is being actively covered up at the direction of Donald Trump, okay? Right? Now, you know what's crazy about this is check this out, right? Like, what if, like, dude, she is not going to be at the cookout, right? But what's insane about this is we know that Trump is deeply embedded in this shit. We don't know how deeply embedded. We know other people are deeply embedded. Now, for me personally, I don't care, okay? I don't care about, like, if any Democrat that was involved in Epstein, I'm fine with them frying too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm up with having a bipartisan sexual abuser cookout and letting them all go right under the fucking bus. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to protect any Democrats. Like, no, fuck it. Let them all burn. Dude, I'm totally fine with all of them burning. Right? But it says if there's no there, then why is Ghislaine in prison for 20 years? Right? This person, how dare you accuse the president of covering up a scandal? Oh, dude, Sherry from fucking, right? Of course it's number 2. The leader of the free world just asked us to focus on election fraud, right? You and Tucker are part of the problem. Shut the fuck up. Trump has already taken your gossiping ass down. Oh, they are mad, right? Look at this. She says, I believe the Biden administration destroyed all the important documents, right? Oh, of course, it's the Biden. Oh, look at the redheaded libertarian, right? She blocked me. Right? She didn't like me, Josie. No, I called her out for like having no crowd when she went live in DC. Dude, of all the shit I got into with her, it was when I was finally like, holy shit, you went to Washington, DC and you spoke for like 8 people. Like, you have no fucking crowd outside of Twitter. And that's what made her block me. Right? Where's the mods? What do we need the mods for? Right? Where's the mods? What's going on? I don't see anything bad. Yeah, I don't see anything bad. Oh, are you talking about the mods on Twitter? Right? But anyway, so, dude, isn't that funny? She says he is being very poorly advised on top of it. Oh, yeah. You think Trump is advised? Like, nobody advises Trump. Give me a break. He's out there just fucking bull in the china shop, right? The fact that they say he's being poorly advised, right? All right. What does this say? Or Trump thinks if he releases the files and exposes Mossad, they will kill him. Oh, so now they're going into, right? Now they're going into the intelligence operative thing, right? Leave Pam Bondi alone. Pam Bondi. Dude, where's mine? Mine got buried. It's definitely option 2. Huh. Yeah, no, I left a comment on there. I did. My comment, though, has disappeared, right? I did leave a reply, right? My reply was, was right here. I said, everyone knows it's 2. Yeah, but I put a link to my video in there, so that's why Elon just buries that shit. You can't put links in your shit on fucking, right, on Twitter anymore. But everyone knows it's number 2. Dude, this is crazy, though. Keep getting banned? I'm not banned. What are you talking about? You're always being weird. Always weird comments from that account. No, it's like, it's Twitter. If you post links, outside links, they always suppressed it, right? They always suppress that shit. Letting children drown. Well, I thought the biggest distraction that Trump did was the Rosie O'Donnell thing, right? You saw that, right? That's what he did, right? Was this. This was his big distraction today, was to try and imply, oh, we're going to take away her citizenship, right? This one, he says, because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interest of our great country, I'm giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship, right? She is a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her, right? But he's like, dude, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's distracting from shit. I mean, I even said, right? I was like, dude, so you think some bullshit tweet about Rosie O'Donnell is going to make the Epstein nightmare go away? There's no way. You know what I'm saying? There is no way. I mean, I saw this and I was like, oh shit, this is what he's fucking trying to do, right? Did she respond to his did she respond to his thing, to his big ramble? All right. Here's the Rosie O'Donnell thing. All right, let's look at it. So the Rosie O'Donnell thing is this, right? Rosie O'Donnell response is this. So she said, hey, Donald, you're rattled again. 18 years later, and I still live rent-free in that collapsing head of yours. You call me a threat to humanity, but I'm everything you fear. A loud woman, a queer woman, a mother who tells the truth, an American who got out when the country caught fire. You build walls. I build a life for my autistic kid in a country where decency still exists. You crave loyalty. I teach my children to question power. You sell fear on golf courses. I make art about surviving trauma. You lie, you steal, you degrade. I nurture, I create, I persist. You are everything that is wrong with America, and I'm everything you hate about what's still right with it. You are everything that's wrong with America, and I'm everything you hate about what's still right with it. You want to revoke my citizenship? Go ahead and try. King Joffrey with a spray tan. I'm not yours to silence. I never was. And Rosie, oh shit, dude, she just lit him up. My God, it's crazy when you see like how eloquent like regular human beings are and how like not eloquent President Trump is. You know what I'm saying? Like Trump is just so not eloquent. And this was what she said originally that bothered him. All right, let's see what here.
And what a horror story in Texas. The flash floods in Texas, the Guadalupe River. 51 missing, 51 dead, more missing. Children at a camp. And you know, when the president guts all of the early warning systems and the weathering forecast abilities of the government, these are the results that we're going to start to see on a daily basis, because he's put this country in so much danger by his horrible, horrible decisions and this ridiculously immoral bill that he just signed into law.
I mean, dude, she's not wrong, right? Like, obviously, you know, we've seen it with the FAA. We are seeing it with the hurricane, the weather systems. I mean, that's what they do, right? They cut all these regulations. They just gut this shit. And like, yeah, of course, we are now going to have crisis upon crisis upon crisis, right? You know?
As Republicans cheered. People will die as a result, and they've started already.
And there you go.
Shame on him. Shame on every GOP sycophant who's listening and following the disastrous decisions of this mentally incapacitated POTUS.
I mean, dude, no lies detected, right? So again, though, you ready? I mean, in typical Trump fashion. So his response to her saying, you know what? This guy is like mentally unstable. This guy is putting people in harm's way, which we know, right? It's obvious. But then he's like, I'm going to take away her citizenship. And it's like, no, Trump, you're not. You're not taking away anyone's citizenship. You're going to sit there and keep bitching. And you're only creating this huge stir around it, just trying to get us to forget about Epstein, right? And you know, fuck you, Trumpy. I feel like the Epstein thing has to get like I think, dude, Elf, let's go, baby. F the GOP, boss. Let's go. Don't you guys feel like Epstein should be the thing that we should just hammer away with? Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because he's never going to release it. So we should be talking about it for the next 3 years. Just Epstein, 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 right? And you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And then the minute the Dems get back in power, like fucking, you know, subpoena everything, right? And subpoena everything. Dude, no, nobody better be shitting on Rosie in chat. Dude, Rosie, I mean, dude, she's got a kid. She's taking care of her family. Let her do her thing. You know? Dude, let her do her thing. But yeah, I saw this and I was like, oh man, dude, this shit ain't gonna go very far. But so we did see Megyn. Let's look at some of these other people. Let's pop in on fucking Jack fucking piss boy. All right, white supremacist piss boy. Let's see what he's got. He's mentioning Epstein. He's not really mentioning it. Name things you trust more than the idea Epstein has no clients. He's hawking his book, right? He's fucking, they're fucking shitting themselves because of Zoran Mamdani. The name is Mamdani. Mamdani. Should learn how to say it. Oh, it calls him Commie Mamdani?
Piece of paper that makes them American. Guess what? It's failed. It's wrong. It's not true. And as I stand here before you today, I'll ask you a question. Does Commie Mamdani, does Zoran Mamdani seem like an American? No.
Yeah, he does. He actually does, dude. He seems like more of an American than you fucking piss fucking carrying clown. Right? He's like, you know what you're never going to hear? You're never going to hear Zoran Mamdani doing a 20-minute speech about 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗆, right? No, you won't, right? You won't ever hear him. He's never going to take the stage and be like, let me talk to you about 𝗙cie𝗶𝗆𝗆. Dude, Elf! Oh, shit, let's go, baby! Oh, shit, dude. Dropping the 50, bro. You are going fucking crazy. God damn, dude. Chicago Symphony's in the house, and Elf is going nuts. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Dude. You're going to get some sleep? All right, Paige. Let's go. We'll see you. But, you know, it's so funny that they're all talking about fucking Mamdani.
No, he's not an American. Is
Oh.
Zoran Mamdani an American like we are? No.
Dude, that was not even an impassioned response, dude. That was like his friends in the audience. No, yeah, like we are? Like what? Like the piss boy?
No, he's absolutely not.
He's an American like Melania Trump is, or Donald Trump's grandfather is, or right? Dude, yeah, there were literally like 3 or 4 people in the audience who were like, no, that was not even a huge thing. Dance party, dude, we got a dance party. You want to fucking, we have our method for the dance party. Should I do the dance party now just because of the fucking fat donos? Is that what you guys are wanting? You guys are wanting a dance party for the big fucking kahunas instead of our normal super chat battle that we do? We need dance party. You need dance party? Dude, all right, we will fucking, dude, super dance, super dance, 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗀𝗎𝗓 I've danced sometimes, guys. All right. Oh my God, look at this. 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗍𝗀𝗍 is now like retweeting Jillian Michaels. Okay, look at this shit. She is like now firmly in this corner. She is like full MAGA. Now we do have to wonder, okay, we think about this, guys, because we know that, look at what PBD has done. Okay, PBD, Valuetainment, he made a home for the defector, Lindy Lee, from the Biden camp. He has then basically purchased Jillian Michaels. Okay, he has basically purchased 𝗪𝗪𝗓. So now Jillian Michaels was sort of a centrist Democrat, right? She was a Democrat when she was fighting for gay rights. Okay, she was aligned with the Democratic Party when she wanted to get married and wanted to have rights. But once her gay rights were established and she was rich, she's like no longer a Democrat. Now she's moving on to the wealthy fucking right-wing money. Okay? And they're doing the same with 𝗪𝗪𝗓, though. They're trying to buy those centrist, Democrat, centrist, you know, independent people that follow Anna and Jillian Michaels, and they're trying to buy them and red pill them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. They're trying to move the goalposts slightly, ever so slightly, so they can pull the middle of the road people under the MAGA umbrella. And they're doing it by weaponizing, right? It always comes down to a protect the kids, right? Like, think about it. Because what she's talking about, undocumented, unaccompanied kids working on a marijuana farm. Let's go, Ingrain, let's go. All right, so let's think about this, guys. Because kids working on a marijuana farm is not good, okay? Kids working in general is not good, but red states, Arkansas, Missouri, Florida, Texas, they have all been changing the laws so kids can go to work. Like, you know what I mean? They've literally changed the laws. In some of these states like Arkansas, they made it so you no longer have to verify a kid's age, which means you don't have to look at their citizenship papers anymore. So these red states have actually changed the laws to be able to hire undocumented kids in their fucking workforces. But they're not going to get raided because they're red states. Okay? But now Jillian Michaels is going on here trying to be like, oh my God, they're harming the kids in California. Dude, they want California. They want Republican control of California. because if they get it, they would never lose an election again. Isn't that crazy? But dude, I can't believe she's fucking doing this shit. All right, I guess we'll dance, dude. 80 bones in fucking in donos is fucking good shit. All right, it's good shit, dude. All right. I don't like abandoning the usual way to make the dance happen, but I'm gonna like, I'm working out my own demons here. Right? My own demons. I'm like, wait, there's a way we always get a dance, but I can just let that go. We can fucking dance, show appreciation. All right, show appreciation. We'll get our fucking song going. It's all good. You weren't going. No, it's not just you, Engrain. Right? It's Elf. Elf is putting the pressure on. Applying the pressure. Putting a boot to my neck. Let's go. I do like a dance though. It's like, it is how I stay physically fit. So I can't really complain about it too much. Right? All right, let me find. Where's the Epidemic Sound link? Nope, that's not it. Dude, am I spacing out here? Why am I not finding my link to Epidemic Sound? That is very strange, dude. No, I had a browser shortcut. I had it up on my thing. I think I may have accidentally like pulled it off the tab. All right. I thought I was crazy for a sec. No, I'll hook it up. She does look a little bit like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, doesn't she? All right, there we go. Yeah, no, I definitely deleted it. Sorry, I'm like having my own adventure here of like trying to figure out where my shit is. Dude, what the fuck, bro? All right, there we go. Dude looks like a lady? Yeah. Good shit, dude. Aerosmith. All right, there we go. We got it. Epidemic Sound is back. Back on the fucking taskbar. Right? That's where I like my shit. All right, here we go. We're going to bring out our usual song, The Usual Suspects. Our little Strokes fucking tune. All right. Dude, everybody go like the stream. Yeah, dude, no, Jillian, though, like, they are, right? They are fucking, like, I just cannot believe, yes, thank you, Natalie. Hold on, I'm going to put that in there.
It was the central tenet of his...
All right, sorry to blast you out, but we're going to watch the Jillian Michaels thing after this, okay? Because they are, guys, 𝗪𝗟 𝗪𝗀 and Jillian Michaels are definitely like, there is a concentrated effort Okay, much like they're using Dana White and Logan Paul and Joe Rogan and these podcasters, right? They are like buying them to red pill young men. They are doing the same with fucking Jillian Michaels and 𝗙𝗪𝗓𝗏𝗡, where they are trying to red pill suburban women, okay? Suburban centrist women through fear of like your children's health. They are actively trying propaganda campaigns, and they're breaking out the big guns, man. You know what I'm saying? And Anna's not influential. Dude, Anna's not influential. She has a significant fan base still, boss. She does. Anna does, right? They're absolutely. And what's more, though, is what they're doing is they're just outside of the women's fan base. What they're doing is they are feeding on their viewpoints. Okay, they are like taking Anna's left-wing viewpoint and they're moving that goalpost slowly to right-wing ideals. And what they're doing is Anna's being like, oh yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. And so other left-wing women will be like, oh yeah, so the shit these red pillars are saying, I kind of agree with a couple of those things too. And like, that's how you get them, right? It's like the Andrew Tate syndrome. You know how Andrew Tate won a bunch of young boys? You know how he fucking melted their minds by saying like one thing that was a trope that men had been saying for ages. And these young guys would be like, well, a couple of the things that Andrew Tate says make a lot of sense, right? They get him by a couple of like root fears or root identity things related to young men. And Andrew Tate says something that speaks to those points. And then that's the getcha. And then all the extreme shit is stuff that they're like, well, I don't really buy into the extreme shit. But the extreme shit slowly goes to work on them until eventually they get pulled right. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And it is, they pray. Okay? These types of people pray. And PBD he is a predator. Make no mistake, he is an anti-gay predator. Now, what's crazy to me is that Jillian Michaels partnering with PBD with all of his anti-gay, like predatory shit is like really out of fucking whack, man. That shit is really fucked up for her to even be messing around. All right, you ready? All right, we dance. Dude, we fucking dance and then we go fix this shit.
They have a lot to say, but I don't know.
we go. Dance party. Dude, that would be a good roller rink song. As a groover. Oh. Oh, Lordy. Ooh. That is a, oh. Dude, ball bad, let's go, baby. That is a fucking, a mouthful. Oh. Is there an ETA on when Twitch will be back? Not really. I mean, I will be back, like dual streaming, but, ooh. Yeah, I know. No, that song is like, oh shit, bro. That song is fucking, gets us going. But anyway, back to our fucking subject matter here with Trump is obviously, Trump is crashing out in a major way. And he is fucking, I like at this point, I don't think there's any doubt that Trump is guilty. Okay. Now the question is going to remain with Trump here. The question is going to remain about how it catches him, right? That's going to really be the question. Okay. Because obviously his, you know, we have the Elon tweet. Okay. I feel like the Elon tweet needs to be like significant attention needs to be paid to this. Okay. This is the fucking tweet right here, boss. Right? This was Elon. You know what I'm saying? This was it. Time to drop the really big bomb. So, I mean, just to give you the information about the bat, minor bird, here's what you need to do. You need to get like the thickest sort of gloves you have, or put multiple gloves on. You know what I'm saying? And like just pick it up and put it in a cardboard box and take it outside. But you got to have thick ass gloves. Right? But this, right? Time to drop the really big bomb. Another thing you can do, I know if it's flying, you can take a cardboard box and put it over it on the wall like it's flying, and you just slam it against a wall so it's trapped in the cardboard box. And then you slide a piece of cardboard over the top of the box like you do catching a spider in a glass. You get it covered and then put a paper on it and carry it outside. Cardboard boxes are good. Right? But Janelle, let's go. Thank you, Janelle. Appreciate that. Dude, we're going to blow up a little Trumpy. All right. So anyway, so Elon said, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DGT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Right? And so this is where we're at, guys. The truth is now coming out. Now the question's going to remain if any of this shit is going to stick to him. Okay? Because we know that the Epstein files are hugely important to MAGA. Okay? They are hugely, dude. Tony, let's go, baby. Dude, Tony's got money. I'll take some. Let's go, boss. Appreciate you guys. So they, I mean, it's weird. I feel like the Epstein files might be one of the biggest, most important things to Trump's base. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, I feel like the Epstein files is like top 3 most important things to all of his base. Because a whole bunch of those MAGA people in particular, they're convinced that the Epstein files were covering some left-wing pedo ring. You know, they're like hugely convinced that there's this ginormous pedo ring that of Trump's enemies, you know, and the reality is they're not there, right? I love this tweet. The Epstein files are on Pam Bondi's desk right now, but also they do not exist, but also they do exist and were written by Obama and Hillary when Epstein died in 2019 when the president was Donald Trump. Dude. Right? Dude, this is crazy. Right here, look at this shit. This is in the running for worst post ever made. Look at Elon's comment. Dude, SK, let's go, the $5 sticker. Let's go, baby. How do I find out the names of these stickers? Does it have a name? I want to find the name. It doesn't tell me what the name is. I can just see it. That one's pretty cool, though. So look at what Elon said here. He said, seriously, he said Epstein half a dozen times. Oh, shit. Sorry, my alarm's going off for some reason. Oh, no wonder I woke up late today. I set the alarm for 12:27 a.m. instead of p.m. That's why I overslept today, because I fuck up the a.m.s and p.m.s sometimes. But he said, seriously, he said Epstein half a dozen times while telling everyone to stop talking about Epstein. Just release the files as promised, right? That's funny. Dude, Trump doubles down on wanting people to shut up about Epstein. So now, oh my God, look at Nick Fuentes. He says now Trump is claiming the Epstein files are a Democrat hoax. MAGA is dead. Good riddance. Uh-oh. Dude, MAGA just lost their patron saint of like anti-Semitism, right? Oh shit, what are they going to do without their patron saint of like replacement theory? That's fucking going to be rough, dude. How are they going to fill his space, dude? They're going to have to give 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗃 a fucking, right? 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗃's going to get a elf. Let's go, baby. Dude, let's go. Woo! Got you, boss. Dude, I got you. That is like, 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗃's gonna get a raise. Thank you, Elf. Appreciate you, boss. Dude, where did you find that sticker? Energetic lemon and baby? Where did you find that? Oh, I see. You can look at the different stickers. Oh, nice. I see him. No, now I'm on there. There we go. There's this one. Got it. Okay. Energetic lemon and baby lemon. Dude, I love it. Dude, lemon and baby lemon. Who thinks of this shit? Oh, hold on. I'm fucking major itch here. Dude, yeah, baby Hitler is big, man. He is, dude. So, right, here we go. There's only one way to read Trump's post today about Epstein. Basically, a confession. He's guilty. He knows he's guilty. His cult isn't culting on this, and he's a cornered rat with no way out other than to plead with people not to care about child sex trafficking. Holy shit, dude. Did 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗃 just nail this, bro? That is the best indictment I've seen, right? That is absolutely it. Dude, so in 2 days, we went from the Epstein list doesn't exist to the Epstein list that certainly exists, was created by Obama. Dude, oh, is this 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗃's? The conspiracy theories just aren't true. Never have been. It's an honor to serve the president of the United States, real Donald Trump, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he calls on me. Holy shit. Look at 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗃's. Dude, you know what's crazy about this, though? And this was in the video yesterday with Vaughn Hilliard, where he talked about how 𝗏𝗏 Patel and Dan Bongino, they literally got rich, guys, because of these conspiracy theories. That's how these guys got rich. They were literally hitting the cash register on the Epstein Democrat conspiracies. It was their entire sort of game the whole time. They were huge on this. And now they're just like, whoopsie, we just made millions off you guys in your big conspiracy theories. And now we're telling you that, yep, nope, none of it was true. Never has been. Never have been. This is insane, okay? Because if you look at 𝗏𝗏 Patel, bro, like, this is like his main thing, dude.
Did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself? Who killed Jeffrey Epstein? How about that?
Let me talk about, so I've spent a lot of time in federal detention facilities as a public defender before, talking to my clients, so I kind of know how those work. He was in isolation. He was in a unit where he's in there not just to protect himself, but he's in there to protect the rest of the prison population because he was such a high profile case. What happens is in these units, there's supposed to be 24/7 guard duty on him directly. And from what I was able to learn in this, in the lead up to his suicide is the guard fell asleep. Now, I don't really buy that, but it's almost impossible to prove otherwise unless you can obtain the videotape. And usually there isn't video looking into people's cells for a lot of reasons. And so we're stuck with that narrative. And do you know what happened to these guards? Supposedly they were going to get charged, but I've never heard anything that happened to these prison guards. Maybe we should try to find them and let's talk to them.
Yeah, it's like the Andy Griffith thing, right? He falls asleep with his feet up on the desk, and then the key, you remember that they reach around and they grab the keys and they make their way out of the jail so they can go back to the saloon. I mean, it seems really ridiculous to me that the media wants us to believe that this is actually what happened. They're gaslighting. And
also, when you're in that kind of confinement, we call it solitary confinement, you're not supposed to have these things that you are able to hang yourself with. That's the whole point of the strict rules in there. You're not supposed to have 6 feet of cloth that you can dangle from.
Yeah, guy on suicide watch is not going to have 8 bed sheets.
So you can hang yourself. This is prison 101.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide. But is this Justice Department going to investigate it? Probably not.
So
yeah, isn't that crazy? And he was blaming it on the Justice Department, right? This is fucking crazy.
I never believed that the CIA killed Kennedy.
No. You're talking to a guy that's read the entire JFK file.
You've seen all the secret stuff?
I've seen all of that, and I've seen the 7 pages of the 9/11 report. I've seen it all.
You don't say that to people that you can't tell what you saw. Should the Kennedy stuff be released?
Yes.
Is there anything there that is like, is anybody alive that...
Dude, I don't know what we're watching there, but dude, they literally made a, here we go. Oh no, that's him saying he killed himself, right? I would like to find some of the good clips because these guys sold this conspiracy theory for years, okay? That's literally how they became rich. That was their game, okay? That was 𝗏𝗏 Patel, that was Dan Bongino. That was their fucking game, bro. But now he's saying the conspiracy theories have never been true. Like, not just are they not true, but they've never been true. Dude, I'm not buying it. Your eyes crossed listening to him. Dude, he does have some crazy fucking eyes. All right, I'm not going to spend all night searching, but we know it's out there. Look at this guy. This guy said, Donald Trump just said, who is this guy? This guy is some fucking whatever, some right winger who looks like a Chad. He says Trump just said the Epstein files are untrustworthy and that we need to move on. Nail in the coffin. I won't defend this. I'm disgusted. Okay. So here's what Charlie Kirk says. President Trump on the Epstein files says he supports Pam Bondi at AG. The files are untrustworthy and created by Comey and Brennan. He wants his Justice Department focus on the voter fraud, the rigged election, Act Blue, and arresting thugs and criminals. But that's it. Dude, no editorializing from Charlie Kirk. This is very telling, guys, right here. Don't you think? Don't you feel like this speaks volumes? Because Charlie Kirk editorializes on everything, okay? He does not post a thing without the Charlie Kirk interpretation of it, the Charlie Kirk commentary. And here he's reporting this like a little news blip, like, let me just tell you what Trump said, with zero editorializing whatsoever. That is insane. That speaks volumes. That means that Charlie Kirk is like reposting this without comment, with just quoting what's in it. Yeah, he's afraid to touch it. He is afraid to fucking touch it, bro. Oh, that is wild. That is wild, man. Right? And Benny Johnson says Trump addresses the rumors, but also no commentary. Yeah, the Obama. Oh, look at fucking Cenk Uygur, right? Cenk Uygur's like, you sound like you're on the list. Any MAGA want to become friends? Cenk Uygur's like, if you're leaving MAGA and you want a new friend, please call me at 1-800-TYT-SUCKS.net, right? Please call me up. We'll go have a beer. I want to tell you about my new populist platform. You can come be part of Rebellion Pack. Oh, come hang out with me. Dude, he's so funny. Oh my God. This is crazy. All right, so John Ossoff did have an interesting comment.
President Trump promised to end the wars. He promised to release the Epstein files. Did anyone really think the sexual predator president who used to party with Jeffrey Epstein was going to release the Epstein files?
Touché. The sexual predator president who used to party with Epstein, right? I mean, the man has a point, okay? Love him or hate him, Ossoff has a point. And yes, AOC did her tweet for the ages as well, which I'm sure you guys have seen, but we may as well show it. It was this one that fucking where she didn't mention Trump. Okay, you may have seen it. She doesn't mention him. She just says, right, who would have thought that electing a rapist would have complicated the release of the Epstein files? But she doesn't say, like, which rapist that has been elected. Could be anybody, right? There, you know what I'm saying? But everybody that all the Trumpies were in here, like, oh, you're going to get sued. But, like, she never even mentioned Trump's name. I mean, all the MAGA people mentioned Trump's name, right? You know, oh, you're getting sued, dear. Yeah, sure she is. Dude, Trump ain't suing anyone, bro. You think Trump's going to get into a lawsuit that's going to have discovery based around the Epstein case, right? You think Trump is going to do a lawsuit against AOC about defamation so we can start looking and seeing what Trump has been saying about the Epstein case and about his sexual abuse cases in his internal communications for the last 10 years? Right? Donnie Trump ain't going down that route, okay? He ain't going down that route. The only reason he attacked those other companies is because he knew they were trying to do mergers, okay? And he knew he could extort some money out of them because, right? Because he's going to have to approve their merger. And yeah, dude, Trump has literally been Epstein's good friend for a long time, right? All right, let's see what 𝗏𝗏𝗏 said. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 said Trump just did a long post in support of Pam Bondi and the investigations he wants to focus on. So, dude, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 did the same shit that Charlie Kirk did, not touching it, right? Isn't this wild? I think this is wild, guys. Hold on, I'm going to save that. Dude, this shit is wild. Right? 𝗏𝗏𝗏, not touching it. Charlie Kirk, not touching it. Benny Johnson, not touching it. These guys they have gotten marching orders for sure. Right? They're posting it without editorializing at all. That is super telling. Dude, super telling. Dude, let's see some of these other guys, okay? Let's see the guys that are not so crazy. Let's see, like, Cernovich. Okay, Cernovich is less indebted. Let's see what he says. He says, this is a strange statement from Trump. Okay? That's what he said. That's all he fucking said, right? Interesting. Not a lot of comments, right? You said Benny Johnson is editorialized? We'll see. So, I mean, Benny has posted here about the Epstein files release being a huge thing. He's talking about, dude, what about this, guys? Is this the craziest shit you've ever seen? Look at this shit, guys. Donald Trump is being interviewed by his daughter-in-law on Fox News. What is this? Why does she look like she snorted 100 lines of Ozempic and fucking hasn't eaten in a month? Look at her fucking neck, bro. What the fuck is going on with this woman, dude? Her head's gonna pop off. But he is literally, think about this, guys. He is so on the ropes that the only place it's safe for him to do an interview is with his daughter-in-law on Fox fucking News, bro. He is like having to do interviews with his family on the fucking propaganda network that paid $787 million to lie for him. I mean, dude, like, he's not winning, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he is not winning at all.
When there was the assassination.
Dude, what the fuck, bro? Hold on, I gotta fucking snap a photo of this. Dude, that shit is insane, bro. Right? Yeah, he's not good. So I saw Benny Johnson was basically just covering this all day. He reported the thing, but he's not really editorialized on this at all. Okay? He's not. He's only done the Tucker Carlson thing, which is tying it to Israel. He's said, like, releasing the Epstein files is important, but he's not holding Trump accountable at all. He's certainly not calling Trump out for you know, his avoidance. Look at this. Trump was spared by God. So think about this, guys. So 20,000 kids in Gaza were not spared by God. All right. The people who died in Texas were not spared by God. But the adultering, rapist, criminal, shitbag who calls everybody names and is an abusive cunt that has a Gestapo force attacking all the brown people in America is spared by God. Isn't that interesting? So he can hide the Epstein files. So he can cover for the pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein. What a God Benny Johnson has. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? What a God. Dude, I kind of hope that God is real so I can tell him what's what when I get in front of him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Holy shnikes. Yeah. Oh, let's look at this.
Hey, what's up, King? How you doing, man? This is a nice fit. Look at this. This is great. Look at this fit. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm one of you. 9.5?
Dude, what the fuck, bro? Dude, there's a 9.5-year-old kid that is dressed up in a fucking imitation Trump clown suit, hanging out with Benny Johnson. See, I told you guys, though. I've told you how Benny Johnson is making content for this age kids, guys. That's why he makes those shorts with the bloops and the bleeps and the smiley faces and the emojis and shit. These are the guys they're trying to radicalize. This is the groomingest of the groom, right? This is what they're doing. Benny Johnson, like, look at his YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, I'm telling you guys, this is the Benny Johnson situation. Okay, this is what they're doing. This is a part of their thing. We got to address this real quick. Now, look at his YouTube. Look at his thumbnails. Okay, you see how? Look at the art on the thumbnails here. With the fucking, the black crying lines. Everybody's got the screaming voices and shit. And they're all like bright with the AI fucking open mouths and shit. This is the same type of shit you see in gaming thumbnails. Okay, let me look at like a fucking gaming. All right, if you go to YouTube and you look at gaming. All right. You look at the thumbnails. For fucking like Roblox. All right. You look at, let's find some Roblox. Oh, they're all shorts. But they fucking do the same shit. Right? Where they have the exaggerated expressions on everybody. I mean, these are figures of fucking. Dude, it is fucking. I'm trying to find the ones with humans, right? Not the ones that have, like the fucking, let's try to find some gaming YouTuber thumbnails. Dude, I'm so out of the gaming loop. Oh, shit. Dude, he is like absolutely making thumbnails for kids. Okay. Oh, wait. Let's find a Mr. Beast gaming. I bet that'll be the fucking the kind where you'll find it. Right.
These 7 contestants are.
Okay. So in Mr. Beast gaming, right? It's like, oh, fuck, dude. These are all just Mr. Beast. But you know what I'm saying, right? Where everybody's got the open mouth, okay? They do kind of look like Fortnite thumbnails. Yeah, I bet Fortnite's going to have some of these. Yes. Okay. Yeah, no, good. Right? So they have the fucking hyper realized, they have the same fucking red arrow, you know what I'm saying? But they fucking do the like the eye work and shit on their faces. You know what I'm saying? And like, but everything is with that one sort of like crazy sort of arrow, and everything is sort of AI'd out with the super bright fucking and the right. You know what I'm saying? And his are the same way, right? Everybody's holding something up, but they're crying. Everybody has that open mouth, right? Everybody is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is fucking with the same open mouth, which is like this weird thing that they do with all the gaming thumbnails, right? With the super scared faces, right? But look at this. These are thumbnails for kids, okay? Without a doubt, if you see them, these are thumbnails that are designed for kids, right? They're designed for kids, okay? And then the videos are filled with fucking like blips and bloops, right? Like, look at this shit, right?
Did you in fact commit those acts?
They're filled with shit like this.
To escape.
Right? Like this is, no adult is watching this shit. Diddy's fucking producer or whatever. No adult is watching this guy with the fucking Afghan on his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, dude, this is crazy. And of course, what are we seeing? Dude, now we're seeing Benny Johnson with his fucking fan base. Like, look at what they do to AOC, mouth open, and the crying tears on every single one of them is mouth open and the crazy tears, right? But they're all like pop culture figures. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go. Yeah, no, Jenny's changing the fan schedule. Dude, why they got this fetish for running mascara? Yeah, so the thing about this is I think it's like these are all designed to feed that younger audience, right? They're like chasing a younger audience. They're like, I think they're trying to get young people who aren't even into politics, like clicking on this shit. And a lot of it has to do with like crying women and screaming people, but it's like, you know what I mean? All of this is like not aimed at adults. Okay. It's not aimed at adults. It's about the fan base. You know what I mean? It's about the fan base. I mean, I just know this because I used to make, love you, babe. Good night. I used to make thumbnails for young people, right? I mean, with Fortnite, you make this shit. This is the kind of stuff that you make with Fortnite. Like, I used to do this shit where my most successful thumbnails were putting my head on a Fortnite character. Okay. And then it would look all exaggerated and I'd be like some crazy face. And again, though, like nobody who's 40 years old is clicking on these thumbnails. Okay. No, nobody who's 40 years old is clicking on this. This is like young audience. All right. It is. It is absolutely young audience because they're using like all the same expressions. Like every single one of them, they're AIing the mouth. They're taking a photo and AIing the mouth. All right, we'll look at that in a minute. But yeah, this shit is gross, dude. This stuff is gross, right? You could go look at somebody like, you know, right? Like if we look at Typical Gamer and look at his videos, right? They're very similar, right? These are, and I'm not calling out Typical Gamer. I love him, but this is the type of expression you do when you make videos for young people, for young viewers, right? You have the curvy short red arrow, right? It's like one particular type of red arrow. And then you have a lot of like open mouth surprise things. These are the types of thumbnails that attract kids. Okay. Yeah, typical gamer is great. Dude, I love him. He's great. But this is a stylistic thing to where, because you know what it is, guys? Is kids don't have kids' brains are not very developed. So what you do is you have extreme shows of emotion, right? Because a kid can't really see the nuance between a plaintive look and an angry look and a sour look. You need to show them the extreme, like extreme happy or extreme hurt, right? Because their brains see everything in like black and white. You know what I'm saying? So kids tend to respond more to those really extreme shows of emotions. And yes, with young boys, because young boys are a couple of years behind in the development, right? So young girls are more likely to notice shit, but it's just young audiences in general, right? Like, let's look at Piper Raquel, who I made that video about, right? Let's look at her thumbnails, okay?
Let's go.
Right? If we look at her thumbnails, they're all the same way, right? They're all like cartoonish. Everybody is made to pop out of the background. They're super cartoonish with super exaggerated like expressions, right? And they're often holding something in the shot. That is another technique. The character holding something, holding a phone or holding a sign or holding a prop. It is like part of the psychological thing that they do. You see every thumb just about, they're holding an item. They're holding one item to bring your attention to it. It is literally this, and this is stuff that like 8-year-olds watch, 6-year-olds watch, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds watch. But it is a psychological way that like they make these thumbnails, okay? This is like, it's like a thing that they do with these really extreme fucking looks, the finger over the lips a lot of times, and the fucking, right? It is a very big technique. And there he is with the finger over his mouth. Trump with the finger over his mouth. You see this, guys? Like these guys are scientifically looking at the thumbnails that teen YouTubers and gamers are making, and they are creating political content trying to influence the brains of young men, okay? Young men, because they know that young men are the way. That's the group that they can red pill with promises of riches and power and the ability to do whatever you want. I mean, dude, this shit is when you see this, you can't unsee it. And Benny Johnson is like the worst offender. He literally makes content for 8 to 10-year-old boys and trying to sell them on misogyny and Christianity and Trumpism and anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ. And if you look at his thumbnails, they are all that same cartoonish shit. They're this exact fucking shit, man. Isn't it crazy? It, like, when you see it, you realize, like, fuck, dude, this guy's a groomer. This guy is a definite fucking groomer. I'm going to make a video about this tonight. He is. Yeah, he's trying to pull him into Opus Dei and shit, right? But look at that. There's Jeffrey Epstein with the fucking finger over the thing. Epstein Island tunnels, right? And he's making some video that's like, ooh, right? And then he's got the UFC, right? He's covering all the pop culture shit, Kid Rock, right? But all of these, right? Simone Biles attacking her. It's all anti-trans, but he is making these videos for children. And of course, there he is with his little fan, boss.
Hey, what's up, King? How you doing, man?
What's up, King?
Nice fit.
He says.
This is great. Look at this fit. Thank you. I appreciate that. How old are you? 9.5? Big smiles.
Wow, look at you. That's awesome.
Hey, Klein, did you get this? Klein, come in here. Okay. Look at this. 9.5. What an absolute king. He subscribes to the channel. Up here, bro.
Dude.
That's right. Why do you subscribe to the channel? Why do you subscribe to the channel?
Because everything that you say is true.
Everything you say is true. Why do you subscribe to the channel? 9-year-old boys watching Benny fucking Johnson, red pill, mind melt, child grooming up the wazoo. Dude, Benny should be in fucking jail for this shit, bro. Red pilling these kids. Everything you say is true. This is what they're doing, guys. This is gnarly, gnarly fucking child grooming. Okay? This is gnarly child grooming. Dude, I'm making a video on this. Dude, this is crazy. His parents are probably fucking, you know, Christian Trumpy red pillars. You know what I'm saying? Right? But everything you say is true. Wow.
Can't get a better endorsement than that. Right here, my man.
I got a Trump dance?
Dude, and so this is who he's fucking performing for, dude. Isn't that crazy? It is fucked up, bro. This is right up there with Epstein Island, boss.
Get a Trump dance. Do the Trump dance.
Thank you.
It's great. Hey, what's up?
Dude. Jesus. Oh my God. Dude, what Jack said there, ever seen a grown man naked? Dude, that's Benny's next question. See, this though, so I started looking into content creators. Obviously about a year ago and maybe a little bit before, around the time. Now, if you look at Benny Johnson's content and you go way back, okay, if you go way back, right, you see him 4 years ago. Look at his content, guys. His content was geared towards adults, okay? You see this? This is all content. Look at these thumbnails. He was interviewing. He was doing journalism. He was doing journalism 4 years ago. These are all adult thumbnails. Adults, all right? He is totally seeking an adult audience, right? It's Benny Johnson. He's wearing a suit, okay? Now, we're going to watch the switch. Here he is still. He's evolving, right? His thumbnails are evolving, right? This is 4 years ago. He's like, this is 2021. This is after Trump lost the election, okay? Now he's starting to evolve a little bit. I mean, he's pretty late in the game, right? It's definitely moving in the fucking child range right after Biden won, okay? Once Biden won, he started switching to this shit. Trump golfing, the head on the golf ball, the fucking electric eyes. You see what's going on? Right? This digital dementia shit. And then over time, he has like honed this into a very specific style. But you can see, right, how then he switches from his suit to like a black t-shirt to like a muscle shirt, and he starts doing, right, he starts like looking more like he's a you know, manosphere, a fitness influencer guy, always wearing the black t-shirts. But even then, see how he's putting like heads on different bodies? That is a gamer thumbnail technique sort of deal. And again, dude, this is not fucking for adults. Okay? 𝗙cie is foaming, right? He's not seeking an adult audience, right? Biden got trolled by kids, right? He even starts bringing kids into the things, right? And then a lot of the stuff he started doing is he started going around pop culture, grabbing pop culture. He's putting like poop emojis in there, and he's going around pop culture items whenever there's a pop culture thing on the edge of gaming and shit, right? Dude, it's wild. Doing the big, this is like a video game font right there, right? That font is a total video game font. Is he devolving? No, he's not. He's not devolving. He is honing they have a target audience now, guys. See, this is what they figured out, okay? What they've figured out through Andrew Tate and the way Andrew Tate sort of radicalized the youth. They're using a very specific technique of realizing that young women are going to college. They're getting more liberal. They're not getting trapped into marriages. Young women are moving further and further left. Okay. And so what they are is their target group is young men. Young men are normally not politically active, especially young white men, because they don't get affected by the politics because none of the policies ever hinder them. So they're specifically going after young men and young white men, trying to convince them that the minorities and the women and the LGBTQ are trying to take their rights away, and that they need to become Christians, and like the athletes and their favorite fucking influencer stars. They need to become Christians, and they need to become weaponized politically against these groups that are trying to cut their dicks off. Okay? It's very fucking targeted, and they're very specific about this. And so Charlie Kirk is going into the colleges, right? He's going to fraternities. He's going to places where men are under a tremendous amount of peer pressure to conform. I don't know if you've been in a fraternity. I was in a fraternity at UCLA, and there is a conformity that you have to do to become a part of a fraternity. So they are focused on these collegiate, early collegiate, fraternal type environments where young men are in a mode of conforming in order to become part of a larger group, in order to meet girls and have power and have sex. They're going into those specific groups and selling them Trumpisms: have power, have sex, get rich, come with us and fight these guys that are trying to take all of this away from you. It is very culty and it is very targeted. Now, what Benny Johnson's doing is Benny Johnson is trying to hit these kids while they're gamers. He is trying to get the gamer kids that are 6, 7, 8 years old already thinking that Benny Johnson and Charlie Kirk and MAGA and Trump are all cool. And then when they see the Trump dance on TikTok or whatever, the MAGA, they're already conditioned to think MAGA is funny and cool and like the gamer dudes, instead of they're the guys assaulting immigrants and raping women, which is actually what they're doing, right? But if you see the techniques, dude, these are fucking child gamer thumbnails. And he's gone through many incarnations of them, like this shit, right? With the self-pilled or whatever, red pill themselves. Look at that, dude. That thumbnail is fucking crazy, okay? These thumbnails are all fucking crazy. Cringe, yikes, puppet, right? Demons, boom, right? They're using words that are a lot of them are those one word, right? Based. A lot of wrecked, R-E-K-T, right? Wrecked. That is a fucking 12-year-old's word. You know what I'm saying? Sniff, right? And with the crazy eyes and shit. Be a man, right? They're using phrases that are specifically, he uses wrecked on like so many fucking videos. This was 2 years ago, right? They've been working at this for a while. And then he started switching off of the fucking super gamer shit to going back to these cartoony images. But again, it's all like, this is like a Pulp Fiction nod over here, right? And it's all with the big, crazy, exaggerated expressions, right? But they are specifically targeting, right? If you look at him, he's on the Andrew Tate thing, right? Copping onto the Andrew Tate thing. But they are specifically like hitting pop culture things, right? Andrew Tate's untrue, right? Covering for Andrew Tate, backing up Andrew Tate, backing up, you know, all of the fucking red pill sort of people. Yeah, dude, it's wild. I mean, he's done so much Andrew Tate shit. And so the Russian money was kind of in this era, right? The Russian money was sort of in this era. And that was like, look at that. He's like, fucking, dude, Engrain, let's go, wrecked. There it is. But toxic, new boss, right? Banned, total gamer background there. Okay, this is like the Mr. Beast $20,000 sort of things. Yeah. And I don't know if he's hot for Andrew Tate, but they're working with Andrew Tate. They're like working with that group, right? Like they provide legitimacy for Andrew Tate, and he is provide them with a roadmap for radicalizing young men, right? They're like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're like sitting in a Discord call being like, what are we doing next? But they're definitely watching him and using his techniques. You know, and yes, Benny was fired from BuzzFeed for plagiarism, and then he got fired again for the same thing. I mean, he's been sort of a cheater and a conniver and a you know, person doing illegal shit the whole time. But you see his fucking, these thumbnails are all super designed though for young people, right? With those expressions. I like ice cream, right? Ban the church, right? Putting the fucking meme glasses on Trump. Super targeted. Busted. Boom. Right? Then he kind of like, this right here is his quartering phase. Okay, do you guys know the quartering? Like, look at these thumbnails. I'm going to show you these exact thumbnails, guys. You ready? Look at this. Look at these thumbnails on this page. And then let's go to the quartering. All right? It's Jeremy from the quartering. This is one of the guys. This is one of the guys who came after me around the G Fuel time. But you're going to see the exact fucking, right?
Alec.
Yeah, look. Look at those thumbnails, right? Oops. There we go. Right? You see it? You see it? 7 faces, 5 faces, and then the stacked lettering, except Benny's using white and yellow instead of white and red. But this is like his quartering phase, where he crams in a bunch of faces, right? If you look at the quartering, his thumbnails are the same. He's also targeting a young gamer adjacent audience. All right. These are like, this guy is also, right? You see that? You can't not see the similarities, right? But they are fucking, right? It's real specific. The white glow and red glow around all the figures. Right? The white glow around the figures. Dude, these guys, man, they are like, they're mirrors in like sort of seeking out the same sort of audiences, right? This has been the quarterings technique for a long time. Benny sort of moved into it for a little while, right? Moved through that. This is right around the time that the quartering was trying to, like, he came after me, like the G Fuel ad. They were basically one of the things the reason why this guy, because you would ask, why did this guy, Jeremy from the quartering, get involved with me with my G Fuel ad and creating this whole campaign about it online? Like, this guy was at the center of some shit. And the reason why Jeremy the quartering did it was because during the pandemic, I was like a pink-haired, super woke, liberal gamer guy. You know what I'm saying? So I was like a huge, like, problem in the gamer world, in the gamer system. I was a big problem, right? Being a pink bunny slipper wearing, super woke, outspoken gamer dude. Right. And so that's exactly why he was part of that fucking anti-Tommy movement. It's crazy, though. These guys are, dude, they're going after the kids, man. See the exaggerated expressions with the fucking stretched mouths and shit? This is why, guys, like I'm telling you guys, there's a reason why 18-year-old men voted for Trump in this last election because these guys have been doing a concerted campaign for them on TikTok and YouTube for years. They've been doing this. Benny's been doing this for like 3 years, guys. Okay? It just in the shadows, right? Isn't that wild? And now that you see it, you can't fucking unsee it. But every video is like, everybody's got an open mic. A lot of people are holding one item. It's that exact same shit, man. I mean, the color schemes are a little different because he's not going after teen girls, but it is total fucking grooming, bro. It is grooming a young audience, right? Young men. Dude, it's wild. It's not an accident, guys. Yeah, I know. Once you make the connection, now you're going to see it. You're going to look at, right? You're going to look at this shit and you're going to fucking be like, oh, fuck, bro. I can't not see this anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're going to absolutely fucking see it. Dude, yeah, it's hard though, because you know, the thing that's hard about the Dems and the idea of spending $20 million to go at young voters is this. You ready? Here's what's hard, guys. Is the message that the Democrats sell, which is discernment, compassion, critical thinking, like worldview, big picture. It's hard to sell that to 8-year-old kids, because 10-year-old kids, because the only people that get that are people that are emotionally mature, which means young women will respond to that because they're several years ahead. Precocious young men will respond to that. But most young kids, most 10-year-old boys are like much simpler dudes. It's not about compassion. They want power. They want fucking toughness. They want invulnerability because they're being bullied. They're being fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're trying, you know what I mean? They live in a world like young boys in middle school. Compassion gets you nowhere. It really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? They want to be like Supermen. They want to be fucking superheroes. They want to be fucking tough guys. They want to be able to fucking beat up the dudes who are picking on them. They want power, you know? And so those sort of right wingers sell the concept of power, right? You come with us, you get women, you get power, you get money. Women, power, money. And that speaks to that hormonal fucking like lack of power that young men feel, right? It's true. It's hard. I don't know how to break that messaging, right? It's like, you know, I think what you need to do, this is why I believe the party moving to the left and becoming an opposition party is really important, okay? Because I think what you have to do is you have to defeat that power by not competing with it, okay? And then you create a different power, which is the power of improving people's lives, okay? The power of actually like fighting for the community, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is like the way you defeat that type of power grab is through community. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like the same way that you can have one powerful guy, it's going to be a group of people that fucking take him down, right? Like, you know, and so we definitely need some fucking work there. You know, I don't know how exactly to accomplish it. I mean, in an ideal world, the one thing that you can all do individually is you can go to therapy, you can heal your own generational trauma before you have kids, or while you're raising kids. That's what you individually can do, is you can go heal, especially if you're a man. Go heal that toxic masculinity social bullshit that we got programmed with in ourselves, and then raise a son without that being in the driver's seat. That's step one for all of us men. Any age man can do this. Break the chain of the patriarchal, toxic male bullshit, and then raise a kid after you've broken that chain. All right, that's a start. And then the other thing I think we do is we have to like fight it out in the political world too. You know, younger politicians on the left. Yeah, I mean, we need younger politicians in general, right? It's tough though, because most young people though don't want to go in politics. They want to just go out and like live in the world, you know? You know what I mean? But it's, you know, it's going to be a hard fought sort of battle. It is. You know, it's going to be a hard fought fucking battle. But Benny Johnson, though, is one of the chief culprits, man. This guy right here, this guy's dangerous. He is a fucking extraordinary groomer, right? And you can even see too how awkward this, like, let's watch this, how awkward this fucking thing is, dude.
Hey, what's up, King? How you doing, man? This is a nice fit. Look at this. This is great. Look at this fit.
I mean, look at how awkward that is. This is great. This is great. Like, he's literally selling right-wing politics to children, bro. Right? Like, there's no way he can't. Does he not have a conscience about that? Like, my God, dude, I was selling gaming content to kids, and I was like, whoa, dude, I just can't do this. Right? But he is selling right-wing toxic lie politics to children. That's like, wow, dude. That's crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. How old are you? 9.5? Big smiles.
Wow, look at you. That's awesome.
Hey, Klein, did you get this? Klein, come in here. Okay. Look at this. 9.5. What an absolute king. He subscribes to the channel. Up here, bro. That's right. Why do you subscribe to the channel? Why do you subscribe to the channel?
Because everything that you say is true.
Can't get a better endorsement than that. Right here. My man.
I got a Trump dance?
Get a Trump dance. Do the Trump dance.
Thank you.
Dude, crazy, bro. 9.5. Dressed like a fucking adulterous sexual predator. Yikes, bro. Like, that is rough. Yeah, no, it does fucking beg to, right? It's like when you think about it, let's look at that clip, that Stephen Miller. It's a great idea. You ready? Look at this. Watch.
Children will be taught to love America. Children will be taught to be patriots. Children will be taught civic values for schools that want federal taxpayer funding. So as we close the Department of Education and we provide funding to states, we are going to make sure that these funds are not being used to promote communist ideology. For any nation to be successful, it cannot teach its children to hate themselves and to hate their country. So these are a few of the areas in which
you don't want to be taught to hate yourselves or hate your country. You need to be taught to hate immigrants and to hate trans people and to hate Democrats, right? You know what I mean? Like, dude, doesn't he looks like a fucking Hitler Youth fucking weirdo? Dude, he is a thumb. Look at him, bro. What a fucking scary fucking individual.
teach its children to hate themselves and to hate. It cannot teach its communist ideology. For any nation to be successful, it cannot teach its children to hate themselves and to hate their country. So these are a few of the areas in which President Trump has fought the cancerous communist woke culture that was destroying this country, where we were led to believe
the cancerous communist woke culture, like they just throw words out
that
there.
Men were women, that women were men, that racial discrimination was good, that merit was bad, and that safety...
Merit, like Trump's cabinet, where, you know, you have a reality TV star running the Department of Transportation, right? You have a major, right, who was served in the National Guard running the Pentagon, right? Merit, guys, merit.
And physical security matter less than the feelings of liberal ideologues.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Again, guys, this is a concentrated effort. The Manhattan Institute, the Heritage Foundation, Christopher Rufo, Kevin Roberts, right? Stephen Miller, okay? The fucking Russell Vought. These are like targeted. These guys have been cooking this up in labs for fucking 30 years, man. This is like 30 years of work that is getting dumped on us right now. You know what I mean? It is some gnarly shit. All right. Yeah. No, Sneeko. Yeah. No. I remember this video.
No, wait. We love women.
You see, he said, fuck the women. Fuck the women, this kid said. Look at this, bro. Right?
What'd you take? Fuck the woman. What? No, wait. We love women. We love women.
But not like transgenders.
Yes, sir. We love everybody. No.
All gays should die.
That kid said all gays should die, right? Like, dude, you see what's going on? Dude.
What have I done?
Dude, what do you mean, what have I done? Like, really? Dude, for him to say, what have I done? You see how embarrassed he is, though, of like the shit that he's doing? Like, what have you done? Like, you know exactly what you've done, you fucking piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Done.
Can I get in the video? Fucking talk. Can I get in the video?
Yeah. Talk to him.
Yo, what's up? What'd you take?
Dude.
Fuck the woman.
What?
Dude, wow. Yeah, dude, 9-iron. Indeed, bro. Isn't that nuts? Like, dude, that shit is alarming, man. It is just fucking alarming, dude. That's what we're dealing with, guys. This is the shit we're dealing with, man. Like, this shit is like bottom of the fucking barrel, bro. Dude, like, the messaging, the messaging, dude, it's fucking wild, dude. And the crazy thing is it's hard because maybe one day when I get on fucking firm footing, maybe I'll dip back into the gaming world a little bit at some point to like go back in there and delve, because I still have a little like notoriety there. Because when I was in the gaming world, there was like nobody else there that was like me. You know what I mean? I mean, there were certainly people that were, I guess, tolerant and connected to me, but they're like, for the most part, everybody in the gaming world would just stay mum about social issues because they were worried about losing their audience. That was really important. They will sort of obliquely refer to things. They'll occasionally come out and make some sort of like supportive statement without actually being openly and supportive. They say shit like it's really important to love and accept everyone, right? You know what I mean? That's sort of the type of shit they do, but they don't actually lean in and take an actual firm stand and stand up and like make a move for these fucking young people. They don't. They're worried about losing their money, right? Where are these kids' parents? I mean, to be honest with you, those kids' parents, they're working. right? Most of those kids' parents are working. They're either like low income where they're working multiple jobs, or they're successful and their dad's at the office all the time and mom is fucking off taking care of the charity foundation, right? They're working. You know, kids have entire lives on the internet. I mean, and let me just tell you guys, when you have a kid, it's real hard to like know exactly what they're into it. You know, it is. It's real hard to know exactly when they're what they're into, because they have a whole life at school that like the parents are not fucking aware of at all. You know what I'm saying? They have a whole life at fucking school. And that's where, you know, I mean, ultimately what it is a lot of it has to do with the shit you instill in your kids in the first 4 or 5 years. That, I believe, is really where you lay the groundwork. But yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. All right. Dude, what do we got? We got some, I'm trying to figure out what we have time for here. Oh, dude, I responded to this, actually. Dude, this tweet. I did. I responded to this one. None of my tweets are fucking showing up today, but Jank, right? Saying, I had a disagreement with many other left-wing hosts. They said Trump voters are all a cult and they would never criticize Trump. Now that even MAGA is ripping into Trump over Epstein, the debate is over, right? It'd be detached from reality to think they're not criticizing him. I don't know what his thing is. I'm not really shadow banned because my follower count is going up and a lot of my shit is getting fucking like a lot of my things are getting like thousands of views. You know what I'm saying? My replies. It's just sometimes Twitter is broken, right? A lot of times Twitter is broken where you don't see your reply under shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, a lot of my replies are fucking absolutely like getting thousands of views. You know, it's just sometimes when you click on the actual post, you won't see your reply unless it's getting thousands of views. Like after a while, right? If your thing doesn't have a lot of views, it gets dropped down to like the bottom, right? But Twitter is kind of like weirdly broken like that now. You know? You found me by accident? Let's go. Yeah, dude, Cenk is a case. Dude, do we have any footage of Cenk talking about the Epstein shit? I haven't fucking seen any of him. But has he been talking about this on his show? Or has he just been, did he do a video today about it? Dude, I hate people that have a video play at the top of their thing. You don't get paid for views. You get paid for advertisements, right? On YouTube, you make money from ads, right? It has nothing to do with views. I mean, sure, the more views you have, the more opportunity to show ads. But sometimes you have a lot of views that make little money, and sometimes you have little views that make more money because it's all about the number of ads served, right? And yes, it depends on watch time and it depends on niche, right? Because some niches, like I've had some videos where they only get like 2,000 views, but they make like $12 1,000. And then you'll have other videos that get 20,000 views, but they make $3 1,000, right? But it's all on like ad served. All right, here we go.
I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But
now, see, 𝗙𝗫𝗍, we should mention, was mentioned in the Epstein documents, right? 𝗙𝗫𝗍 was. So, right? Isn't that interesting? That, like, you know, he's all, like, outspoken and shit, but he's had more than a passing mention in this shit.
And to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them, and that's wrong.
Here we are. The Epstein files saga continues, this time with former Epstein defense lawyer Alan Dershowitz. On Sean Spicer's show there back in March, Dershowitz emphatically claimed that he knew all of the clients on the so-called Epstein list. The clip resurfaced.
But the list doesn't exist, though, remember?
Yesterday, amid left and right-wing backlash to the Trump administration's denials that Epstein was blackmailing other clients. Dershowitz's insistence that there were other clients and co-conspirators was backed up by Sigrid McCauley, the lawyer representing several Epstein victims in their civil cases. Listen.
I think what's really just astonishing about this recent disclosure from the government is that they know they are sitting on a treasure trove of information and they're not turning it over. And I've worked on these cases for over 10 years now. There's a plethora of information that the public has not been able to see relating to Epstein and his co-conspirators. And as we know, he had a group of people around him who helped protect him and help that scheme to continue running. None of those people have been prosecuted.
All right, folks, and it's getting even sketchier, if you will. We're learning more that the 11 hours of prison footage that the Trump administration released from the night Epstein died may have been altered.
Dude, we know it was
talk
altered.
More about it with metadata embedded
All right,
in
let's get into the fucking janky.
These revelations today. Tell us.
So we kid around about Captain Underpants because there's a story of how he got a massage at Epstein's place. But he says he kept his shorts on. So we had a good laugh over that. And he says, no, it's okay, my wife was there. And I was like, wow. Okay, but because we're the fairest show in America, as I watched that interview with Sean Spicer, I thought, I mean, he's getting me to question if he's really did do anything wrong and why. Because he's saying the same thing Steve Bannon is saying. And two guys, I can't stand Alan Dershowitz or Steve Bannon. But they're both saying, why don't you release the whole files? Because we didn't do anything wrong. Now people are accusing us. Dershowitz has been accused for a long time.
Yeah, but like, I think they probably both know that there's no fucking way those files are being released, right? They absolutely know that no files, those files are never gonna see the light of day, right?
And Bannon just got accused by Elon Musk. So they're like, no, that's it. Just release the goddamn files because now we're all getting smeared. And Steve Bannon's even calling for a special prosecutor. So, okay. So did Dershowitz do it? I have no idea. How would I know? The government's keeping it a secret, right? So, but I agree with him in this case. Yeah, release the files, then we'll know. So now to the tape. I mean, first of all, they released the tape and it's a freaking joke. So as I've said many times, on the day that Epstein died, Anna and I were on the air, it was breaking news. And I said, if the camera in the hallway isn't working, they killed him, okay? If the camera in the hallway is working, then it was suicide.
Dude, you knew the camera in the hallway wasn't working. None of the cameras were working. The whole thing was fucking.
And then we found out later, oh, golly gee, the camera in the hallway wasn't working. We cannot see his prison cell. I was like, yeah, all right. Color me shocked, right? So now they say, okay, that's all right. We got it. We got the tape. I'm like, really, you did? So the camera was working? No, we got a tape of the common area.
Dude, they didn't even have tape of the common area. They had tape in front of the doorway of the employee fucking break room, right? And you know what's funny too? Did you guys notice how they released that tape saying that this is proof that nobody went into Epstein's cell, but they didn't even qualify, right? Everybody who saw it initially thought one of those doors, like that door right in front of the camera, was like Epstein's cell, right? It was, you know what I'm saying? When it was like one was a door to a break room and the other one was a door to like a fucking closet that never opened. But it was just like, yeah, this is proof nobody went into Epstein's cell. But his cell was downstairs and then upstairs over in that other corner, that the whole thing was like just so completely misleading.
What does that prove? That doesn't prove anything. Oh, by the way, there's a minute missing. And then Bondi's like, no, every prison tape has a minute missing. Does it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're still waiting on the release of all those other prison tapes with a minute missing, right? Remember, guys? Every tape has a minute missing. Shouldn't they be showing us like 100 days of videos with a minute missing? We haven't gotten any of those yet.
Wired magazine with a great reporting today where they're like, yeah, it was edited. There's two clear different parts of it, edited together. We don't know what was, if anything was manipulated further, but we do know like there was different issues with the tape. They had different resolution, this, that, and other. And this is really important. The government put out two tapes. One that was like, hey, you can see it more clearly here, and the one they called the raw footage. And Wired magazine proved it was not raw footage, it was edited. So the tape was junk, and to begin with, it's not showing you the hallway, it's showing you a random place in the prison, or almost random. Then we know that there was a piece of it missing, and now we know it was edited. So
yeah, so it's fucked. And to address what somebody said in chat, so what Trump has said is Trump said we're going to release the Epstein files. Maybe we are. I'm going to be careful about that because it could damage people. But yeah, no, we're going to release the whole thing. Then they had the files on Bondi's desk. They were releasing them any day. They're releasing them to influencers. They're on her desk. It's all coming. Then it's like, well, now there's not a list. Sorry, he killed himself and there's no list. There never was a list, but the rest is child porn videos we can't show. To then Trump saying, well, now these files don't even exist. There are no Epstein files. They're shit that was created by Obama and Hillary Clinton and Comey while Trump's FBI had them in 2019. I don't know, right? There are no files. And if there are, then they were created by Obama and nobody cares. So therefore, we're going to focus on the stolen election, right? Dude, I mean, that is a fucking mouthful, right? When you think about it, like that is a lot of like mental gymnastics. I'm picturing a brain fucking doing calisthenics, bro. Jesus.
Gee, I wonder if the government is trying to cover it up. I can't quite tell when the government says hundreds, maybe even thousands of underage girls were raped, but no one raped them. We can't find a single client and we're not going to prosecute anyone. Okay, that's the wildest conspiracy theory I have ever heard. And the fact that it's coming from the government doesn't make it any better. Elliot, what do you think?
To be honest with you, Cenk, I appreciate Dershowitz doing what I think you need to do when it comes to a conspiracy theory, which is leave some kind of question mark, something open for people to wonder about. Him saying, hey, I know about all this, but I can't talk about it because of confidentiality seems like a really smart move. What's not a smart move is to go, hey, look over there, and hey, don't even ask us any more questions about this, and don't worry about the tape, and don't worry about the list. I think that's going to continue to be a bigger and bigger backlash for him.
Yeah, and Ellie, just real quick on that before I toss back to Sharon. Benny Johnson has a story about Dershowitz and Epstein. We'll get to that in a sec. And it could be that
here we
Dershowitz thinks, yeah, I know who did it. And I know that since it's people that are never ever going to release the list because they're in the government, I can say anything I want about the list because I know it's never going to come out. So that's also possible, but we don't know. Sharon.
The whole thing just keeps getting, as we said, sketchier and sketchier. One of Trump's buddies now is making excuses about it. Bill O'Reilly is divulging a conversation he allegedly had with Donald Trump back in March.
He said, and I agree, there are a lot of names associated with Epstein that had nothing to do with Epstein's conduct. They maybe had lunch with him or maybe had some correspondence for one thing or another. If that name gets out, those people are destroyed. because there's not going to be any context. Media doesn't care about context. So you can't do that. You can't destroy human beings.
I mean, why not? Dude, the 1,000 girls who got raped have been destroyed. So why not destroy the men that hung out with Epstein and let the people prove who did and didn't? You know what I mean? Like, they're okay with the girls being destroyed. Yeah, let those girls just deal with being raped for the rest of their lives, and their kids and their friends and their boyfriends and their families, right? But fuck if we're going to have a little destruction with all the people that hung out with Epstein. And I mean, obviously, some guy having lunch with Epstein once is not going to be under fire, unlike somebody like Donald Trump, who was on that plane a dozen times or hanging out at the island 20 fucking times, right? I mean, these guys are fucking scoundrels. They are scoundrels.
By putting out the files, whatever they may be.
Okay, so Bill O'Reilly there making it seem like, the barista from Starbucks is also on the list who Epstein perhaps visited daily.
Yeah, I mean, really, dude. Oh, you went and had lunch with him once? I think you're safe, unless there was somebody giving you a knobby under the fucking table, bro. You're gonna be all right, you know?
This is a guy who loved to party. Are we buying this excuse that you don't want to this is politics. We don't want to muddy up everyday people who just, had coffee or lunch with this guy?
Meanwhile, the libs of TikTok will dox every fucking gay teacher, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, libs of TikTok will ruin a gay teacher who lives in Omaha, Nebraska, ruin their life. Bomb threats, the school, the children's hospital. But they're like, oh, yeah, well, all right, we can send in the bomb threats to the school, ruin the gay teacher's life, but let's not report on the people that went to Epstein's Island because we don't want somebody to get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that's patently absurd. Okay, so, all right, you're saying, well, if you just throw out a list, you vomit out a list, some of the people might not have done it. And, you're, okay, yeah, that's a fair point. So why don't you put out a list of the people who did do it? You have them on tape. It's not like you don't know who did it. So, okay, why don't you be super careful? Start with a list of 5 or 10. Remember, there's hundreds, right? We're not asking you to be wild-eyed, right? So it's just nothing but excuses. Total and utter BS.
I mean, it is sort of depressing that this is our reality, right? It's depressing when you think about it. It is. It's like what is depressing is that everybody who is like super wealthy and powerful just gets complete exoneration from all of their behavior. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, they never have any consequences. They get free money. They get like a financial and judicial system that fucking makes it so they get off on things, right? If you're a wealthy man, you get off. Like Diddy, I mean, dude, Johnny Depp went through shit, no ramifications, right? It's always Amber Heard's gonna fucking take the beating, right? Not Johnny Depp. You know what I mean? P. Diddy will get off. And then the reputations of the women will get slandered. Same with Donald Trump. 25 or 26 credible rape accusations. They get threatened, they get NDA'd, they get swept under the rug, right? He just gets like more and more famous and wealthy and more like social acceptance over time, while the women will get ostracized and get called names, commit suicide or not. You know what I mean? It's like the same fucking story all over the place. Yeah, Jack, I mean, I'm sure you feel it on a deep level, right? As a black person, you will watch a white guy get out of his car and yell at the cops and fucking chase him down and point a finger in their chest. And if you fucking move your hands wrong, you might take a fucking bullet, man. It's like a completely different system. It's fucking bullshit, bro. You know, I mean, this world where some of these wealthy, rich people get to do whatever the fuck they want, and the rest of us have to live in fear of surviving, is like a world where we need to flip it on its head, and we need to start making sure that any fucking consequences get felt only by those guys. Like, fuck them. Even if they're wrong, even if the consequences are wrong, right? It doesn't matter, dude. Like, so many, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about how many unarmed black men have been gunned down by the cops. So if a couple of rich white guys lose their careers, who fucking cares? I could care less about a wealthy white guy losing his career over a mistake. He'll be fine. He's got money. Look at Louis C.K. That was a real charge, and the guy's back in the fucking, in the money pit. The point being is it doesn't matter if a couple rich white guys accidentally get ruined, because there are millions of women and people of color and poor people that have been fucking ruined for nothing that they have done and deserve. So I don't care if half of the rich white guys lose everything. Fuck them. I don't fucking care about them. They can fucking survive poor like the fucking rest of us. You know what I mean? Seriously, I'd cry no tears for a rich guy losing everything. He probably didn't deserve that shit anyway. Okay? You know it. You know it. Fuck them. Dude, seriously, no compassion for them. We're going to direct our compassion towards the people that actually need it. Okay? Those guys need a 9-iron more than anything. Right? You know what I'm saying? Look at Cenk, though. Dude, he looks like he's fucking getting ready to fucking take a shit, doesn't he? He's like, I'm going to go. I'll be right back. Give me a magazine. A pack of matches. I'll be back in 2 hours, bro. I got to fucking grab this one. This one's just too good, bro. Oh, shit, dude. The pause game. Dude, that shit is brilliant. Cenk needs matches. Oh, shit. All right.
So, look, guys, the theory most likely, you know, to me is there's one force on earth that can get both the Democrats and the Republicans to cover up a story of this magnitude.
See, here he comes. He's going to say Israel right now, isn't he? Right? There's one force that can get Republicans and Democrats to cover up a fucking thing of this nature. He's about to say Israel, isn't he? Isn't he? You think? I think that's what's coming.
And that's an intelligence agency, CIA or one of our allies, Mossad, MI6. Those are the other two that have been mentioned.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We're either working with them or we're covering up for them, or it's just us and not them, right?
Or it's just us.
That makes sense. And here's why. Another reason why.
Did you see how he sort of like didn't jump right into it? He started with CIA or one of our allies like Mossad, right? I mean, he was like real, like, I'm not going to just scream Israel because that would make me look bad, but I'm going to make sure we get there, right? And then now all we need is a Biden and an Obama, and we'll fucking have the coup d'etat, right? Isn't it? Like Israel, Biden, Obama is like the 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗆 trifecta of all issues. Anything that's gone wrong. Is it right? It's like a flow chart. Was it Obama? No. It was Biden. Was it Biden? No. Oh, it's Israel. It's like he's got a little flow chart. The 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗆 like flow chart of responsibility.
Makes sense. If you're going to start prosecuting people, one person, 5 people, whatever it might be, and the CIA did do it or Mossad did do it, then you have to say to people, yes, our government is so evil that not only did we cover up the child rape, we orchestrated the child rape.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. Our country dropped atomic bombs on fucking cities that like gave cancers and other fucking like genetic horrors to generations of people in Japan. And why? Because they blew up a military base and nobody even died because they blew that shit up while everyone was sleeping and not at work. So if we want to talk about our country and child rape, I don't think it's a real fucking stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like, our country is fucking disgusting, bro.
In order to be able to have blackmail material on powerful people. And nobody wants to admit that their government is that evil. And that's the realm we're in now. And that's why this thing is a powder keg. Because I don't think the American people on the right or the left are going to say, you know what, we're good with it. So maybe every once in a while, a government we don't know, rapes our kids and then or orchestrates a situation where rich and powerful men rape our kids and then get away with it. I don't think that anyone is going to stand for that at all. And the thing that I promised, Benny Johnson had a segment with Marjorie Taylor Greene where he claims, it's not me, but he says that he had an interview with Dershowitz earlier where Dershowitz said that he would take Epstein to meet members of parliament in Israel. Things that make you go, And so maybe Dershowitz knows, okay, it's not that, and that's why I'm saying release the files. It's actually maybe the CIA or just powerful people, and it's not Mossad, et cetera. Or, right, and again, there's no way for us to know, or Dershowitz thinks, yeah, I know exactly what happened, and there's no way the American government is going to throw Israel under the bus. They're going to cover up for Israel from now till the cows come home. So I can say anything I want. Oh yeah, I'm definitely not on the list. Oh yeah, sure, release it. Yeah, oh yeah, I kept my shorts on. Sure, right? But the very fact that he said, I know that it exists, there definitely were clients and they are covering it up. Well, thank you, Alan. So I don't know what you meant by it, but now we all know, like as if we didn't already know, we know 100%. Yeah, of course there were clients. Of course
Well, of course there were clients, but again, I don't think Alan Dershowitz is a reliable witness in this instance, right? Treating Alan Dershowitz as a reliable witness in this is fucking unreal. So the thing about this, Oceanus, is there's a lot going on. I mean, the reason why Israel ended up in all of this is tied to many years, decades of conspiracy theories, okay? Related to pedos being in Hollywood, the pedophile cults of Hollywood, and this idea that Hollywood is owned and operated by Jewish people, right? It's a fucking trope, right? I mean, there's definitely a large share of Jewish people in the entertainment industry. It just happened to be the family business that many of them went into when they first came to America, right? But they, right-wingers, have created this idea of like, that's what woke is. They've created a conspiracy theory that wokeness is what Jewish people have been doing with Hollywood and the pedo cults, and now they've been able to tie this into Jeffrey Epstein. And Ghislaine Maxwell's father was involved with some intelligence stuff. So they're like, aha, there you go. But I mean, dude, Donald Trump's, son-in-law, his dad was best friends with Benjamin Netanyahu. So Trump is tied to all this too. And I know Jewish has nothing to do with Israel, but it's like there are a lot of Jewish tropes that got tied, because the thing about this, guys, that you don't understand, or maybe you do, is how Jewish tropes and anti-Semitism exists and percolates all over the country. So then as soon as Israel, the government, does something bad, there might be people that criticize the government of Israel, but then all of the people that are just anti-Semitic tropers, they then come up and are like, aha, everybody's mad at Israel now, so now I get to interject all my anti-Semitic tropes into that battle against Israel. This is the complication of this shit, is anytime you right? It's the same way that anytime you try to prosecute a black offender, all of the racists get in there and use the prosecution of that black offender as an opportunity to spew their racism. It's what happens when you have those types of hate tropes floating around a group of people, and then they get to fuse that with the actual legitimate movement. So the legitimate movement of fighting Netanyahu and Israeli, imperialism, it gets all the anti-Semitic shit gets to come out and have power because of that legitimate battle. And so that's what makes this shit so crazy. Now, Cenk Uygur, obviously, he's got being a Muslim in name and being from Turkey and his heritage of Muslim in his family. He's got a strong anti-Israel just ethos about him. So does Anna because of her Armenian background. So Anna and Cenk are both sort of anti-Israel by nature. It's probably in their generational trauma from their family lineages, okay? Because this stuff comes in. Now, of course, Jeffrey Epstein absolutely had connections to Israel, and Ghislaine Maxwell had connections to Israel. But the thing about this, though, is there's a lot of money in the Middle East, in Israel, in Saudi Arabia. Like anybody who is into major fucking billionaire finance is probably going to be connected to Israel and Saudi Arabia and what have you somewhere in the line, because there is a lot of wealth centralized in Israel, and there's a lot of wealth in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of wealth in, fucking UAE and Qatar. And so if you are in the billionaire fucking, you know what I'm saying? If you are in the billionaire world, you're going to be connected in there somewhere. I mean, Donald Trump is certainly connected deeply to Israeli interests and the government, not like the Jewish people, right? You know what I mean? Now, the thing about this, though, is that's why it's really hard to attack Netanyahu and the IDF while also separating yourself from those fucking things. Why are you saying I'm a Zionist? I'm just explaining to you how this is, right? That's not being a Zionist. You're a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, Alex. And I'm going to hide you from the channel because you're a fucking moron, bro. You're probably one of those anti-Semitic people where the minute somebody talks about Israel, they start calling you a fucking Zionist, right? Because you don't engage in constant Israel hate. But this is what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. And I'm not a Zionist at all. I think Benjamin Netanyahu should be in prison. And obviously Israeli imperialism is like American imperialism, should be stopped and run into the ground. But I separate that from the fucking millions of Jewish people that get consistently attacked with tropes about the way they look or the businesses they're in or how they fucking engage with money or the fact that they're a pedophile cult or whatever. All this fucking bullshit is. Okay. And the thing about it is if you're going to be anti-Zionist, and you're going to try to hold the IDF and Netanyahu accountable, you have to become intimately aware of how anti-Semitism and all that shit feeds into that. Or you will end up getting radicalized into anti-Semitism, just like those young men get radicalized into the Andrew Tate cult. Okay? And that's the thing you got to be careful about. Because what happens is they use things like anti-Zionism or the hate of the IDF to radicalize you into that greater anti-Semitic fucking ethos that exists. The same way, guys, it's the same way they try to do it with Arabs as well. They try to do the Hamas tag or the terrorism tag to make you hate Arabs, okay? It's both sides of that thing. They fucking do this shit. In America, we do it with immigrants. We do it with black people. We do it with women. I guess the point being is there's a lot of anti-Arab, anti-Palestinian, anti-fucking, Muslim sentiment. And there's anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish sentiment. And then a lot of the governments in the Middle East are playing on that in their ever fucking quest for power and fucking, regional domination. And so my thing is just trying to be aware, right? But you see that guy though, how the minute you fucking talk about it, they're like, oh, you're a Zionist, right? If you don't completely throw Israel, right? Like, it's like you got to even define Israel, because Israel's a country filled with people, many of whom don't like their fucking government. The same way that here in America, we have like 70 million voters who hate our fucking government, and there isn't a Jewish race, right? Jewish is the religion, right? The race would be, if they're from the Middle East, would be Israeli. You know what I'm saying? If they're from Israel, that would be Israeli. But then it's even like, is it Hebrew, right? Semites. I mean, my God, there's the Middle East, I feel like is one of the most complicated regions, because it's one small region that has so many groups. You know what I'm saying? You're saying Arabs are, what are you talking about, dude? Why are you fucking talking about, what are you doing with your fucking Arab shit there, boss? Right? Why are you talking about what is that fucking exclamation point? You know what I mean? I don't even know what that is, dude. Dude, that just felt like that was some Arab negativity there, right? But so the point being is that the thing that's really dangerous about all of this is how people are rabid about it, right? You know what I'm saying? To me, that's a problem, okay? Where you can't talk about Israel now without some group of people accusing you of being a Zionist, and therefore you're responsible for the death of everyone in Gaza, when it's whoa, dude, I've never been in support of Benjamin Netanyahu, other than putting him in fucking jail. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know, you know what I mean? How they even define Zionism now is really fucking complicated, right? It's super sketchy, because I see some people describing it as fucking, the Israeli imperialist right-wing government. And some people blur those lines and they use it as a way to bash everyone who is fucking Jewish or from Israel. And so that shit is fucking, is super complicated, You know what I mean? It's I don't know, dude. It's gotten really rabid. Because, which is why I generally fucking sort of stay out of that region for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Dude, yeah, Bibi should be in jail, right? And Brutus, I mean, if you're wondering why American taxpayers fund Israel, I mean, it's really simple, okay? It's really simple why Americans fund Israel. Because most of our government are Christians, and Israel, in exchange for American backing and for American money and American weapons, Israel has agreed to do America's dirty work in the Middle East, which is to destabilize every Arab nation that the U.S. is not in cahoots with, and to make sure that they are othered and the enemy that the U.S. can then use as a threat to U.S. sovereignty to then apply fucking, stringent sort of, we got to nationalize here at home, right? And that is really fucking what's been going on, as far as I see it, is the U.S. doesn't want some of those nations, specifically like Iran, to ever be loved by the world. And Israel fucking helps contribute to that, right? They go to war there. They go to war there for the U.S. So the U.S. and all the U.S. does is the specter of the big will fucking bomb the shit out of you if you don't let them do what it is. But I mean, if you look at it in the greater scheme of things, guys, if you look at the history of these religions, it's like the older brother, the middle brother, the younger brother. Okay. And Islam is the younger brother. The Abrahamic religions, they're all the same. Okay. Like Judaism and Christianity and Islam are all offshoots of the same origin story of God, right? That like they were like 300 years apart, right? Judaism had existed for a while. Then Christianity showed up, 335 or whatever, when fucking Constantine like felt his power was waning in the fucking Roman Empire. And so he said he had a vision from God, and he took Christianity as a means of taking divine power as a monarch. Okay. And he started adopting Christianity, and then everyone was a pagan. So they just took the pagan holidays. That's why we have Christmas and Easter and shit. They literally just took the pagan holidays and morphed them over to Christianity to pull Christianity in there. And 300 years later, Islam started forming in another part of the Middle East. And like but they're all warring over control of God, really, and they have been since they all showed up, and yes, same God, different prophets. I mean, the Jews believe Jesus hasn't arrived. The Son of God hasn't arrived. They believe Jesus was a man, but he wasn't the Son of God. The Christians believe Jesus was the Son of God, and he's going to come back. So the Jews are waiting for the first arrival of Jesus. The Christians are waiting for the second arrival of Jesus. And I'm not sure what Muslims are waiting for, because I know their prophet was Muhammad, but I don't know as much about Islam. Where does the Book of Mormon fit in? Yeah, Mormon is different though, because that was like fucking Joseph Campbell, wasn't it? Like that was a group of like rebel Christians who moved west and staked a claim on the Salt Flats. Oh, Smith. That's right, Joseph Smith. I always confuse him with Joseph Campbell, with the hero's journey guy. Dude, I always do that. Joseph Smith, yes. So they were going westward, and they laid claim to the Salt Flats in Utah. And I believe I don't know like the origin of the Book of Mormon, but I believe it had to do with a radical sect of like Calvinism. You know what I'm saying? So they believe they're the lost tribe of Israel. Nice. All right. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, Utah's pretty amazing, though. It is, dude. Robert Smith. Dude. Oh, shit. But yeah, see, the three Abrahamic religions, though, guys, is the stickler, okay? Because, like, that's really, I feel like one of our huge problems, because they're, and Christianity, though, I mean, obviously you have like the different Muslim groups, right? The Shia and right. You know what I'm saying? So there's two main factions of Muslims. Judaism is pretty fucking, I mean, you have the Orthodox and the non-Orthodox, but Christianity, though, gets really complicated because you have like the Calvinists and the evangelical fucking Protestant and then the Catholic. And I mean, there's like some serious fucking money, right? Like Catholicism, like talk about a religion born of like bloodshed, like Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like Catholicism is like crazy, dude. Yeah. But again, I feel like as long as there's Abrahamic religions fighting for that power, we're not going to have a lot of world peace, you know what I'm saying? And so that's tough. You're clutching your goat's head. Dude, hang in there, boss. Hang in there. I mean, you know, I don't really believe in any of the religion stuff, but I do see like the Abrahamic religions as a huge fucking like contentious issue, right? As long as you have the Christians, Jews, and Muslims fighting over who is actually the tribe of God, we're gonna be in some danger. You know what I'm saying? There's just no easy way about it. See, to me, if you ask me, like, I don't see why they couldn't all just share the Holy Land and just be worshiping their shit side by side, right? But for whatever reason, it's like, I feel like they've all sort of written into their religions of like everybody who's not them is of the devil, you know? You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, man. That shit is super complicated. But I do know this. I know that what we are stuck with is the reality, guys, of this, of the fact that the American government, as it stands now, if you look at our Congress, if you look at our House of Representatives and our Senate, they are Zionist. Okay, they are Zionist, the same way that the governmental powers that be in you know the IDF are pro fucking Christianity in the U.S. Okay, so there is a like Zionist occupation of the American government because of the type of Christians that are currently in our government. And those guys are never going to change, okay? Like, unless a bunch of non-Zionist people get elected into our government, they're going to keep sending money and weapons to Israel, and it's not changing. The only way to change it is to get into Congress and get those fuckers out, which I think we need Christians out of our government, like, period, bro, right? We have to completely remove them. Okay, there is going to be no half measures, like short of like we need a bunch of people that are pro global harmony getting elected into the US Congress and removing these evangelical Christians, period. Okay, that's what we need. Short of that, we are fucking stuck, you know? And Donald Trump in particular is what's crazy though, is how Kamala Harris during the campaign was like slandered and attacked. And I know she wouldn't throw Joe Biden under the bus. I know she wouldn't because of her, whatever her own reason is. But she got slandered as being like this danger and this pro-Israel, like she was, but she was not even nearly like Donald Trump is literally practically related to Benjamin Netanyahu. He's funded by Miriam Adelson. He is funded by the biggest Israeli IDF-friendly funding in the fucking world. Runs right through Donald fucking Trump. You know what I'm saying? And Buddhism is great. Well, Grandma, I like Buddhism too because there is no deity. It's just a philosophy of harmony and a philosophy of harmonizing with the people and the world. And so Buddhism is my fucking thing because it's not a religion. I know it gets called a religion, but it's really not. It's just a philosophy of meditation, of awareness and mindfulness and harmony, creating harmony with your environment, right? But yeah, so with Trump, we're fucking in deep shit, right? But again, I'm not the Middle East fucking guy. Right? If you really the people that know about that shit, I feel like Hassan, that's fucking his world for sure. He's all about like super knowledgeable about the Middle East and shit. I am not. I just know that the Abrahamic religions are part of the problem and we need to get evangelicals out of our government. Period. And short of that, you're never going to be able to strong arm the evangelicals in the U.S. government to turn their back on Israel because they believe the rapture, guys. They're like, they don't care if you fucking take away their money or you throw them into the pit of fire, they're literally focused on the rapture. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, so yeah, it's fucking tough, dude. All right. On that note, guys, now that I've been attacked as a fucking dude, that guy, like, I don't understand why he called me a Zionist. Dude, why did that guy call me a Zionist? Can somebody explain that to me? What was that all about, dude? Like, oh, was it because I talked about like anti-Semitism trying to glom on to the actual anti-Zionist movement? Is that it? Is that what provoked him? Like some of these anti-Zionist people want to act like the anti-Semitism doesn't exist or something. I mean, it's separate. It's just, you know, they just fucking like, you know what I'm saying? Dude, oh, you just keep attacking me, dude. Whatever. I'm getting rid of that Ordak guy too, right? I don't know what that Ordak guy was, but I've been watching him for the last couple days, and he had some really suspicious messages yesterday about gay people too. So we're fucking getting rid of that guy too. That guy was being really weird, right? You know what I mean? Dude. Yeah, dude, I don't know what that guy was doing, but dude, what guy? Dude. Yeah, no, I know. The fucking Abrahamic religions are a lot of money and power in that shit. He did have some crazy stuff, dude. I noticed the last couple days I've been watching him, and yeah, he was a member though from a gifted, Wes. That was it was a gifted membership, right? That's the thing. So many gifted memberships happen that people, you know what I mean? Like you can't always judge the members, but that's all right. He can still watch. I just don't have to look at this weird shit in chat anymore. You know? See, the problem with religion, guys, and here's my beef with religion. I will tell you right out, okay? Because if you look at religion, the idea of religion, guys, doesn't make it inherently bad, like establishing a moral code and this belief of like whatever, doing good, like centering around the moral code. But the problem with religion, guys, is what happens when sociopathic, devious people intersect with it. Because religion offers you absolution. It offers you redemption for the mere act of like begging for forgiveness. So what happens with sociopathic people is they go into religion and now they're empowered by the deity and the righteousness. And then anytime they fuck up, they just have to get pious and beg for forgiveness and they get absolution. So religion allows a space for psychotic, harmful, toxic people to continually get a fresh slate and to acknowledge that they're sinners and they fuck up. So their mistakes are expected and warranted, and all they have to do is be, contrite about it and be remorseful in the context of their religion. So it is super dangerous in the hands of fucking, sociopaths and toxic people. It is the most dangerous, right? It is an automatic righteousness. It is a sense of safety. You can be a predator, and when you have the cross on, everyone assumes, oh, you're a Christian. He's a good guy, right? It provides a safe haven for predators, for harmful people. It's super dangerous. You wear a cross and instantly you're looked at as though you're not a bad guy. Predators flock to that shit. So what it is it's not like all Christians are predators and all Christians are bad. But what it is every fucking predator is going to move into Christianity because that's where they can get the cover while being a predator, and they can get the absolution for their fucking misdeeds. So every predator ends up going into Christianity at some point because it is a place where they can be predatory and fucking they can be predatory and get away with it and get forgiveness from it. It's fucked up. It is like, dude, they run to it. You know what I'm saying? They fucking run to it. Now, on that note, though, I did overstay my welcome. I got to go make some videos, guys. All right? I got to get going, baby. Let's go, guys. Dude, I will see you guys tomorrow. Keep that shit real. Thank you. Good night.